Hey,
Oh, I see
peeps.
you change your name back to Noble
Okay,
Creation
you're
TV,
gonna
man.
interrupt the intro like that? I see how it is, Jim. Off to a great start. Hey, peeps, how's it going? Um, Let me just introduce everybody before we hop in and explain what's going on. First of all, let's introduce the newcomer, uh, longtime member of the DSA, co-founder of it, but new to the show. Welcome, TA Noble Sports Entertainment. How's it going?
What's up, fellas? How's it doing? How's it going? Let's get it cracking.
Next, we got Nomus J. Nomus, you got to work on your title there, man. It's just kind of bland.
Yeah, that's what it is. Just straight, narrow to the point. What's going on, everybody? No Miss J in the building.
And then last but certainly not least, we got the heart of the city, 313 JMO. What's going on, JMO?
What's poppin', man? I'm just glad to talk some more Pistons with the people.
So, for those of you guys who don't know, a certain member left, and we're not going to talk about it because, I wish them the best, but I'm kind of sick and tired of talking about it. Let the past die. This is the new Pistons Center Court for the DSA. Obviously, the person that left took it with them because that's what they started, but this is the DSA. So no matter if I, JMO, Noble, or even Gnome leaves, this stays with the DSA. This is the DSA show. We are going to revamp it. It's going to be very similar to Pistons Center Court, but different at the same time. Put our own little different twist on it. I'm very excited to get this going. It's going to be Monday nights, 8 o'clock, instead of Wednesdays. So, new time, same people, different show. A lot more fun. JMO, want to put your twist on it and explain it a little bit better?
Uh, yeah. So, man, I've had this happen one time before. I had a basketball show. We ended on great, wonderful terms, but we're not gonna talk about any of the other things in the DSA because we moving on and we growing and we improving and we got above the rim, man. And
Yeah,
make sure you guys stop in every day at Monday. Depending on what happens with the season later on, we might discuss doing it another day. But we got a lot of content for y'all. We always got content for y'all. We always want to interact with y'all and talk to all of the people that because there's a lot of Piston stories out there, man. Even a lot of stuff going on with the NBA. So DSA is always here to give you what you need, man. To give you that good content, man.
Got what you
Let's
need.
enjoy it, man.
This ain't singing with the stars now.
Of course not. And
hey man, no,
we definitely
for that
will
young lady,
have
man.
more guests on the show, and we gonna be bringing a lot of more people and channels will end up being part of this because we out here making connections, So it's gonna be a great experience, man. I'm just happy that DSA can bring it to everyone. DSA above the rim, man. We in the building.
Now, the name did not come from me or JMO or Noble. It was actually Nomus himself. Nomus, what,
Yes,
what made you come up with this idea for this name?
Because at the end of the day, Detroit has some of the most historical moments in Detroit, man. It has so many musicians when it comes to basketball, all the moments. And I said, what would be a better title for the Detroit Pistons for us to talk about them? What about Bud the
yeah,
Ring? It's poetic, man, and that's why I came up with it. This is about us in the city, man. Who we don't get to shine, we get underlooked wherever we want to go about it. Let's give up a title that can people relate to. Let's come on, man. Above the rim. We talking under and above. It don't matter. Let's talk basketball.
I like it. All right. Before we get to you, Noble, we'll talk about it. Chat, how's my mic doing? You guys said it was quiet. Is it better now?
Yeah, it does
uh,
sound a little bit lower.
yeah. It sounds low,
I
but
think I broke it.
Yikes.
yikes,
All
yeah,
right. I'm gonna unplug it and plug it back in. Noble, go ahead and do your thing.
yeah. So hey, everybody, you know what I'm saying? We want to definitely, man, welcome you guys to the show.
Wait,
This is the
hold on. Like, cause it's a lot of static. We don't want the static to drown you out. All right, I guess it went down. All right, your boy Nova Sports back at it.
what's up, guys. You know how we do. You know what the content that we bring, that unbiased media that we bring. Definitely, man. It's a new thing, man. It's a new day. You know what I'm saying? We get out, we're gonna get a chance to give you guys some great Pistons content. So make sure you guys subscribe to all the DSA members. You know what I'm saying? We're here to give you that media about your Detroit Pistons. and we're gonna talk Pistons, and we're gonna talk not only Pistons, guys. We're gonna talk NBA as a whole. So you get ready for that because that's what we're gonna do on this channel.
What's good? All right, now I'm gonna do a roll call until Drew come back because we got a lot of people in the building, man. Adam Bucketheart was good, man. D Williams, what up though? Joey Kappas, Victory G, what's up,
What
man? E Dog 1234, what's up? Micro
Hey,
Mike
what's
in
up?
the building.
Micro
What's
Mike.
up?
What's up, Mike?
What? Oh, anyway, Chris
Yeah,
Cashball in the building. We got Joey Kappas. We got Jay Third. We got Marcel 84. What's up, everybody, man? We got Night Plays in the building. We got the Big Take in the building. What's good with you? We got Raw Street Bully 86 in the building. What's up, everybody? Fred
What's up,
Jackson,
everybody?
Marvin Tolbert, Alan Humphrey in the building.
What's
We
up?
got Buffed Up. What's up, Buffed Up? How you doing, man? How you doing?
What's up, Buff? We haven't said that name in a while. What's up, Buffed Up?
Marcel Flynn, Marcel 84 said, we dang sure don't have any players that play above the rim. Last high flyer we had was Josh Smith. Well, guess who we do? That's not true. His name is Seiko Dambuya.
Yeah, and he's gonna be
Seiko
flying, man.
is a high-flying, extremely athletic young phenom that's going to be a beast.
Hey, you
Don't
can't
forget
forget
it.
about Dre, man. Dre still gets above the rim, man.
Yeah.
The Big Take. We got a lot of stuff on the docket for y'all. You back, Drew?
I don't know. Does it sound better? My
Yeah.
levels look better.
Yeah, it definitely sounds better, man.
I don't know what was up. All I had to do was unplug it and plug it back in. Weird.
Yeah, it sounds better.
All right, cool. All right, sweet.
Get it.
All right, so we can start off with the first topic then.
Go ahead. It was your topic. Lead it, J-Mo.
Well, this was actually Noble's topic, but we're gonna talk about it.
Whoever's topic was, it's free.
Go ahead, Noble.
Free country, man.
All right. Yeah. So basically, guys, what we want to he's just a free country. Basically, guys, what we want to talk about, the Pistons and how do you guys think the Pistons did with the free agency? You know, picking up guys like Markieff Morris, picking up Christian Wood, Derrick Rose, Tim Frazier. How well? What grade are you guys giving the Pistons in the offseason? Do you guys think that they added the pieces that they need to be able to compete in the East? So J-Mo,
I know we got we also, you know, the trade for Tony Snell. You know, we like I said, like you just said, we got D Rose. We got a lot of
I forgot about Tony Snell.
Yeah. We got a lot of players in it. We just gonna talk about the free agency because usually the Pistons don't do nothing in free agency. Just kind of like how the Lions never do nothing, but this year both of our teams was like, you know, let's try to get better. If we can, let's make a blockbuster trade. So, you know, it's still a lot of things going up in the air with that, but I definitely think we need to discuss that, man. Nomus, man, we gonna start with you, man. What do you think about all the stuff that the Pistons been doing in free agency, even the two-way player contracts we be picking up? Don't forget about the Christian Woods and the Jordan Bones and all these guys.
Where have Ed Stefanski and Dwayne Casey been all my life? Where have you? Why weren't you here? Why weren't you here in 2003? Why?
Where were you?
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something, man. And I was like, what? They tricked us last year. They made us kind of think like this is going to be the same organization. Like they did. If they would have did this last year, I wouldn't have believed it. But now I believe in them this year doing it because not only did they just get, you know, complacent when they signed, you know, Derrick Rose, trade for Tony Snell and then Markieff Morris, they got some young dogs that really could actually push these guys and see if whoever worth their money.
Right.
And that's how I feel about it, man. Like I gotta give them an A+ for this free agency. I told people years ago when I first started making videos, I said Pistons are like that old grandparents. When they say they don't got no money, they actually do. They just not gonna give you the money to do what you want to do with it. They're gonna do what they feel need to do with it. And I think that's exactly what they've done this year. They put a player in each position. They got their depth in the guards, their depth in the forwards, in both ends, and their depth that even got some young depth at the center. That Woods kid is scary. Like I said, my only concern about him is we gotta show that we can have a good system for centers. Andre has been making it work, but we have not been able to get anything consistent behind him. That's the only thing that concerns me. But we'll see this year.
All right. Before we move on to the next part, I gotta read some of these comments. These comments are hilarious. There's one guy. He said, "A because we got rid of Zaza and John Lure alone."
Right.
Just because we got rid of them, bro. That's Marcel84, man. What's up, D Matt? Make sure you guys like the video so we can get this out to everybody, man. Above the rim is here, man. J Third said definitely we're active this offseason, a B plus. Chandler Haxmo says B plus. And we got some other guys, but Marvin Tober said I'm just waiting for the Galloway trade. Oh, that would be the cherry on top. Oh, that's coming. You know that's coming, y'all. Ain't that coming, y'all?
Yeah, because I got a video dropping about that, so stay tuned for that one.
See, you see. All right, Drew, man. All right, hey, don't miss Carson Edwards. You heard my feelings, my G. He's a baller. He's amazing. I told y'all. I'm hurt. No, Chandler Harris said not bad. I think they should have drafted Carson Edwards instead of using money on D Rose. But it's cool. I'm hurt. Yeah. He went to the team that I hate the most, the Boston Celtics. But it's cool. It's cool. All right, Drew. What you think about what they did in free agency, man?
What they did was nothing short of remarkable, especially being held at the salary cap that you were. I mean, no one really expected us to get D Rose. Like, everyone talked about it, but no one really believed we're going to get D Rose. And you get D Rose. And then you get a solid backup power forward for Blake Griffin and Markieff Morris, who can ball. He's not as good as his brother Marcus, but the dude can ball. He was actually tearing it up before he went to OKC. Edwards, you got me tripping. Woods is an unproven but high.
You can't mention Edwards.
I was multitasking. Woods has got a ton of potential. We really haven't seen too much of him yet, though. But again, coming to the right fit with Dwayne Casey, you can help make these young guys something. And then everything we did in Summer League was awesome. I think the only bad player that I did not like in the Summer League was King. He showed me absolutely nothing. I think I have to give, for the future of this team, a B plus A minus. They did an excellent job this offseason. I couldn't be happier. It really couldn't have gone much better. And plus, there's still rumors of the Bradley Beal trade, so it could still get better. Like, it's not over with yet. Obviously, Langston Galloway needs to be on the move, but I'm not going to talk too much about that because I don't want to ruin my video for tomorrow.
You know what about that? I think Bradley Beal might be off the table. I heard today that the Wizards is trying to give him an extension for a 3-year extension worth $111 million. So they're trying to keep Bradley.
That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
I thought I heard he was willing to decline that or something.
I don't know, but I know it is on the table that they're trying to give him a 3-year extension worth $111 million.
Now, so basically $111 million to die in Washington.
Right.
Well, the league's throwing money down the toilet. Look what they're doing with John Wall.
Man, John Wall. I was say, they've been trying to trade John Wall.
Yeah, they wanted to trade John Wall.
Yeah, and see, you can tell that Washington as an organization, they've chosen Beal over John Wall. I think it's the right choice too, but that's what it seems like to me. But anyway, back to the Pistons free agency. Noble, what do you think about what they've done?
Man, overall, I give the Pistons definitely a B plus. You know what I'm saying? I think that they did the best that they could do because we know pretty much that the money is not off the books until next season. So you pretty much got to get what you can. And I think that they pretty much did a decent job. Like Drew said, you know, nobody thought that the Pistons was going to get Derrick Rose, and they got that opportunity to get Derrick Rose and then end up not getting Marcus Morris, but ended up getting his twin brother, Markieff Morris. I thought they should have went out the Marcus and brought him back, but it's okay. His brother is still good, and we'll take that. I think getting Christian Woods, I was watching him earlier, and I'm really puzzled by Christian Woods because I saw him do some things that was dynamic, and I definitely think that he's going to challenge Stun from some of that playing time, possibly being a backup to Drummond for the stuff that I saw him doing. So I definitely think that the Pistons overall, man, they made some key pickups, man. They picked up Tim Frazier too, right?
Yes,
right.
Yeah, Tim Frazier. That's my biggest concern too, fellas, is Tim Frazier. What are you gonna do with all these guards?
Man, I think Tim Frazier is trash, but because I've actually seen him play multiple times. So, but I mean, Like I don't know what they're gonna do with all these guards. I was saying that's why I didn't even like D Rose pick up. I was like, I say he can. Two things can be true about Derrick Rose. He can come help our team, help us get more wins, help us in the playoff picture, and him being here as a veteran can also hurt the young player development, take away from their playing time, and then we end up doing what we always do and ship them away, and they get to a place where they get more playing time, and then you added Tim Frazier onto that, so it just all plays into it a little bit, but.
Yeah.
What I think about the free agency from the Pistons, I would give it like a solid B, because I was just talking about I wasn't 100% in tune with the Derrick Rose move. I think the favorite move for me was getting Marquise Morris.
Okay, so that was your favorite pickup.
Yeah, but just because I'm a traditional kind of Pistons guy, and I feel like we have a different type of culture. We're one of the best franchises, regardless of what you say. We're a legendary franchise, and our culture is like the way we win is when you fit the mold of the Pistons and what we represent, you flourish here. You have a great career here.
Yeah.
Marcus Morris was great here.
Can we get a
Marquise
hashtag
fits
facts?
everything about the mold.
Hashtag
For
facts.
Jordan Robertson said hashtag facts. Jordan Robertson said that Tim Frazier is replacing Calderon. Well, if he gets less minutes than Calderon did, I'm fine with it.
Here's the thing about the D-Rose signing though, because him and Blake Griffin are both going to be out. I should say they're going to miss no less than 15 games.
Right. That's why I didn't. I'm not.
Here's the thing with the D-Rose. You're going to give guys like Shafiq Mihailuk or Bruce Brown those backup point guard minutes. They're going to play one of those guys. I guarantee you we are not going to see very much of Tim. I would almost buy like a child on it.
And Tim ain't better than Bruce Brown or Svi anyway. And I'll put my life on that.
You said Tim Frazier not better.
No, definitely not. He can't shoot. He's very fast though, but he can't shoot. And he can't really shoot from anywhere. He's just a slasher.
He can play make though.
Yeah, I was about to say he can pass, but so can Svi and Bruce Brown, and especially Svi.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. He might just be here just to really give them more push. He may not make the roster. You have to take that into consideration.
We got 36 people in the live stream right now. Make sure you guys like the video. But back to what I think about free agency though.
So the Bruiser says, guys, in the comments, Bruiser says, he says this. He says Bruce Brown will not be playing any point guard. So what do you think about that?
I don't buy that. But
because I know they had him playing it in the summer league.
Well, you have to remember, Dwayne Casey did say he want multiple guys that can play make. So it depends on where he want to use that person. You could be a small forward. If you got Luke Kennard, if you got the ability to help play make, you go get the touches on the ball.
But it's basically the way Bruce Brown is going to play point guard is basically we going to use him as a time splitter with the duties. So you got Reggie, D Rose, if something happens to either one of them, then he will play more point. But basically our backup, we got 3 backup point guards. I don't know how that sounds, but we do. D Rose, Svi, and then Bruce Brown is the third. So they all gonna split time. Right. With the point guard duties, even when Bruce Brown and Svi is on the court, they will split time. I don't necessarily want them to. I want Svi to get all the time. But and we use Bruce Brown at shooting guard exclusively. But I'm just going by what the Pistons have shown me. They show me that they want him at point guard. I mean, that's what they've shown me.
And see, my biggest thing too, fellas, is like, how are you going to play? How are you going to play all these guards? I mean, because I still want to see Kyrie get out there. I still want to see. That's what I'm saying. Somebody's going to get the end of the stick, man, and it's kind of tough.
Yeah, I think
you might come back to the
we digress. I still got to talk about free agency, but we're gonna talk about Kyrie and Jordan Bone real quick. I did want to say this Christian Woods guy because I wanted to make a point because I saw a lot of people in the chat talking about Christian Woods. Marvin Tolbert says he is our playmaker off the bench if D Rose get injured. I just want everyone to know. I'm sure people on the roundtable know this. The NBA is so hard to get into and stay that it's like 50 players, like every few seasons, that just don't make the NBA, but they should be. But you know how the deepness of the rosters, and it's so hard. It's hard to make a team even where you have talent. You know what I'm saying? And Christian Woods has a lot of talent, but he never got the opportunity. NBA is all about opportunity at the end of the day.
Right. And see,
he's never gotten the opportunity. I think there's no way unless Thon Maker come back with a nice post game, a spin move, and he's shooting 37% from three. There's
Nice
no
hook
way.
shot.
Right.
Christian Woods can shoot. He's a good offensive player, and at least he ain't as skinny as Thon on defense.
Yeah.
And when you
Right.
take,
That's
and
what I'm
he can
saying.
really score.
Right.
You put him with I mean, he could play backup with Blake Griffin. Imagine Blake dishing to him too, because he can
Right.
finish.
Right.
Like that's a really great pickup because you got to find them diamonds in the rough. And I like what we did with the summer league team because we had a lot. We had a lot of nice crop. Stefanski and Casey are building a culture. Our summer league team had a lot of nice players, even though players that won't make the team. But they had a lot of nice players on that team.
And that's
And
why.
it's just about building and getting Jordan Bone. I think is great. Getting Tony Snell was also a good move. That happened a little bit earlier, but I think that's a good move.
Right.
Luke G Field Reviews in the building. What up, DSA and Detroit sports fans?
What's up, Luke G?
Okay, I was gonna say I wanted to say something. J-Mo was finished with the free agency.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna let him finish first.
Let's see. Chris Cashball says was making the bench. Yeah, he's coming off the bench, but the big take. Thank you, man. Thank you for the support. Make sure you guys like the video, man. So Drew, did you want to say something, no, Mr. Noble? I thought y'all wanted to say something.
Yeah, no.
Unless you was done. But what it was, I was gonna say this. I don't mean to bring this up, but like, okay, when you look at Markieff Morris, I wanted to make this one point quick because it's funny that he's here now. When he was a free agent, I think him and both John Lure were free agents. How did John Lure, who barely made a little over $1 million, get more money than Markieff Morris, who was on a 4-year, $32 million contract? I don't understand.
Yeah, he got a bad deal.
How did we not go for him?
Right, Dan Van Dummy.
Stan Van Gundy. That's just the answer. No, that's just the complete answer. Stan Van Gundy.
We could have had the Twins years ago on the same team, but he wanted. I don't know. Well, that's why I believe this is a different organization, man. Just for that fact, man. But anyway.
I know they said something still up with your mic, Drew, but I did want to ask you because I think this is a big deal and teams be making mistakes, and I'm tired of seeing the Pistons be one of those teams. But with all of these guards and how deep the team is, now you have Jordan Bone and Kyrie Thomas, two players that really look like bright stars, but they might not get playing time. What's going to happen to these guys, and do you think that we should force them in the rotation?
If they don't fit, no. If they're the best player, then yeah, play them. But I think the Pistons are looking at this one way, and this is going to be good. It's not a lose-lose. Either Reggie Jackson balls out because he is healthy for the first time in a very long time, and you either keep him after the trade deadline and you make a playoff push and just try to win a playoff game and get out of the first round, or he plays well enough, depending on where your spot in the playoff race is going to be, you can move him at the trade deadline. That's going to create a spot for one of these guys to step up and really showcase what they're going to do. I think most of these guys, you're going to see a different. I think it's going to be a positionless backcourt. Outside of if it's going to be Reggie and Luke or Reggie and Bruce, however that's going to go, I think the bench is really going to be a positionless backcourt. Both the 1 and the 2 are basically going to be a 1. Both bringing the ball up, initiating the offense. It's going to be a different play style, in my opinion. At least that's what I would do if I was Dwayne Casey, because outside of Luke and Shaviv, these guys aren't really efficient three-point shooters the way that we need them to be yet. Now, that can come in time.
I mean, D Rose has improved, though. I'll give him credit for that.
Yeah, but he's not like Luke and Shaviv.
But Luke and Shaviv, nobody like Luke and Shaviv.
Yeah. I'm just saying that's a different style, though. It's a different style of play. He's going to be attacking. Dishing it down
in
low.
Minnesota, he shot 37%, but he didn't shoot a lot of threes. So I think it's kind of like he can just hit a three every once in a while when we need a three. And to me, that's better than having somebody who can't do that, like a Bruce Brown.
Yeah. And I think that you guys say that. I think that that's what the NBA, that Drew had said that. I think that that's what the NBA is coming to. Is coming to being a positionless type of NBA now, where players are so versatile they can do so many things, and they got so many things in their repertoire. So I definitely think that that's the way the NBA is going, and that's probably why the Pistons got so many guards on the team.
Yeah, I do
Like
want to say one thing though.
go ahead.
If Reggie plays well, we have to trade him.
Yeah.
Like there isn't any avenue you should go with beside. Like I know we want to make a playoff. We will unless the whole team is injured, we will be fine without Reggie. I don't care how good he's playing.
So
like the
what
better he plays, the more we need to trade him. Just because it's time to, even if he could play solid for another year or two, it's time to move on and do something different now. And you got, I mean, I don't care what nobody say. You got Derrick freaking Rose, and you put him in the playoffs with Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond. D Rose is not going he's not going back down, and you know he's going to help the team, man.
He got
the playoff still exists. Yeah, he do.
Yeah, so you know if Reggie plays well, you have to trade him. If he don't play well, you have to trade him. I want to say that.
Look at what D Rose did against the Cavs. It was Chicago's last time in the playoffs. At least it was Rose's last time in the playoffs. The dude hit a buzzer beater. Like, he still got it. Like, in clutch games, he's still going to be the man.
Yeah, I expect D Rose to be a pseudo closer for the team.
I want to get
Blake.
a question.
Wait, hold on. No, I wanted to read some comments first.
Okay.
We got 39 people in the chat. What's up, everybody, man? Marcel 84 says trade Reggie at the deadline. If he plays well, trade Reggie also if he plays poorly. Apparently, you read what we said, but it's facts. Evil Kyrie says Derrick Rose is a rhythm 3-point shooter. Is Luke the best shooter? Yeah, he's our best shooter by far.
But that's
Bruce
okay
Brown
though.
will play the backup point eventually. We'll see. But go ahead, no.
Yeah, I was trying to get to Xavier Washington. He was saying, what do we think about Todd Witters and Dante Hall? But Todd Witters is like this. He doesn't quite play mate, but he really can shoot the ball really well. He's a 6'7" kind of guy. I always look at him as kind of an watered down Damian Dotson kind of guy. I look at him, but to me, the person that I would like to talk about is Dante Hall, because you talking about a developing defensive player. That should make the the G League for development. But I can see if the Pistons pull that trigger right, he could actually make the roster someday in the future, because this guy's defense, if you looked at the summer league, he was actually playing very well defensively, and the guy can jump, and he has a lot of tools defensively that I like on protecting the rim. So I think in the future, Pistons should hold him and kind of develop on him. Then maybe if they don't feel comfortable getting him minutes this year, next year bring him to the roster if he can make it and see what he can do. And that's just what I like about Ed Stefanski. He's really building the farming system for the Detroit Pistons, because we haven't had this.
Alan Humphrey says Dante Hall got the Pistons DNA. I like him. I do think we should give him an opportunity for next year, though.
Yeah, that's what I said. Give him an opportunity for next year. Let him develop his skill set, because we don't want him turning into just another Eric Moreland who can be thrown around. We want to actually turn him into a legend. He, to me, has the defensive ability to make himself well known in the NBA. I really do feel that way.
Marley Cario says, don't underestimate the way Jordan Bone reacted on draft day, the way he shows his emotionally strong talk to me. That is, if he's given a fair chance, he'll catch the stars for the Pistons. Well, look, about Jordan Bone, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm being brutally honest. People ain't going to like it. But after Svi, I'm taking Jordan Bone over Bruce, over Kyrie Thomas, over Langston Galloway, over Tim Frazier, not over D Rose. But I know what I see, man. He can really score, and he can really pass, and he can shoot. I don't know what else you want. He's the fastest player, one of the fastest players in the entire NBA. He's athletic and can get to the rim. These are the kind of players that, if you develop him, he could really be his star potential is, I would say, higher than a Kyrie Thomas or a Bruce Brown.
Through the roof.
Yeah, I think this dude could average 20 points per game one day.
This dude really could be the backbone of the team.
No pun intended. But I like Jordan Bone, and that's what I was saying. That's what this whole thing's been about. Kyrie Thomas and Jordan Bone are going to get lost in the sauce.
And you hate that. You hate that, because you want to see your young guys develop.
Because Jordan Bone, we were all high on him, right, Drew? We were all high on him, right?
Very high.
And then we was all right, let's see what he do in the summer league. We saw Svi and Kyrie and Bruce light it up. Jordan Bone coming to the summer league, 13 points, 15 points. 18 points, assists, shooting from three, just scoring it from that mid range. I'm like, bruh, this dude is a natural scorer, man, and I like his playmaking, and he played defense too. So, man,
Yes, that's why I liked him so much, man. When I kept saying, I was doing a lot of research. I seen Jordan Bone and Barry Brown Jr. Those two guys I can't have in my mind on. We didn't get Barry Brown Jr., but we got Jordan Bone. I just literally flipped the script. I said I should have did the video on him first.
Would you say Nomis? You should have picked him first, huh?
Yes, that's what I said, because I didn't think we was gonna get him for a second. I'm like, we probably get Barry Brown. We got Jordan Ball out there, and I flipped the script, man. I said, what in the world? We can't be serious.
And see that you guys saying that. The biggest thing that I see with the Pistons is developing this young core. We all want to see these young guys get an opportunity to play because, you know what I'm saying, young guys, you know what I'm saying, you want to see these guys get out there and you want to see some of these guys get thrown to the wolves. You want to see what they can do out there under pressure in different situations. When you got all these guards, Langston Galloway, you got Reggie, you got Derek, you got Bruce, you got Luke. It's so many guards that can play either the point or the shooting guard. You like, man. And so I hear what J-Mo is saying, where you know these players can get lost in the sauce, and they end up getting sent back down to the G League to work on their game still. Even though I watched Kyrie Thomas last season killed the G League. He was over there balling in the G League. Yeah. So they were doing a thing in the G League. So I want to see. I just feel like Kyrie Thomas is a hidden gem on the team that may not get the opportunity like he should, and he might end up going somewhere else and end up flourishing.
I'm gonna say again.
This real quick. No, I seen you drop the video. I got to watch later. Is it swing? Let me try that again. Is it sink or swim time for Luke Kennard?
It is that third year's a charm kind of thing for him. It's got to come through now. Like I do believe this guy could pick up where he left off in the playoffs. It was a lot of situations that went wrong with him last year unfairly. You know, he did start the year off injured, so that can throw you off a game off the rip. You know what I'm saying? So with that, the coaching staff kind of miscommunicated with him. Some was on his fault, but overall, I think third year, I think he can take off where you left the playoffs and start off maybe averaging 13 to 14 points. But I think after the All-Star break, I think he's going to kick it up higher than that because now you got another year under his belt. And this time, if you're smart, he should be starting and giving the proper time to get developed team. You know,
I'm gonna tell y'all this: regardless of what the Pistons do with Luke this year, in the future, Luke is gonna be great because you don't shoot when he's not scoring a lot of points if you look at it, but when you averaging 10 points and 8 points, but you shooting 40% from three.
Yeah,
that efficiency is just crazy, and we've watched Luke.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, like when Blake Griffin wasn't playing, he was the number one offensive option, and we saw what he did. He was torching people. So I think he needs to be the second option on this team, and if we don't make him the second option on this team, then he can struggle. That's why he struggles every time going into the starting lineup because Reggie an option. He's the last option in the starting lineup. Besides, maybe Bruce Brown, the small who's ever at small forward.
Like
when Wayne Ellington was kind of playing small forward, he was over him too. So he has to be the second option on this team. He's the best pure shooter on the team.
Yes, because he's the designated guy. He's the guy you got to help set the play up for. That's why we need a different type of point guard on the team to help distribute.
That's why I don't like Reggie. But that's just another thing. But Luke definitely needs to be the second option on this team because he's just too good of a shooter.
So you guys are real high on Luke. You guys are real high on Luke.
No, I think he's great, man. I think he averaged 18. 18. So we just have to.
18 a game.
It's about opportunity. Didn't I just say that? Luke, if we give him opportunity, he could average 18 or even 20. But he needs those shots. And it's going to help Andre because you're going to be worrying about Luke and Blake Griffin. Now Andre can clean up everything, and then we still would have more scorers and floor spaces on the field. We need more ball movement and offense.
So
don't stick too much with Reggie. What you think about that, Drew?
I'm kind of on the fence here, okay? Because there's unfair or fair, however you want to call it. We're comparing him to Donovan Mitchell since we passed on Donovan Mitchell. So when you pass on a player like that who's already taken to his team to the playoff twice and done it scoring a bunch of points and playing defense and being like a point guard at the two, you want to see that since you took that guy. There's something special in Luke. Luke's going to be a good player. Rather the Pistons stick with him or not, he is going to ball out sooner rather than later. Like you said, it's just about opportunity and fit. You think with having Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond, that floor spacing would help him out. But I don't think teams are too worried about it. I watched it on Twitter. There was multiple games in the Milwaukee series, a couple games against Toronto this year, where he had an open look at the 3-point line, like wide open, but he didn't shoot. He deferred. He needs to develop that confidence in his shot and trust himself.
Mhm.
I feel like he doesn't want to step on any toes right now, but if he can come out,
Because Dwayne Casey benching him. And I know you saw the article about him being mad for being benched, and Dwayne Casey was like, "Oh, I love it." Like,
and he went off.
idiot.
He went off.
When you know you're gonna get benched, man, you play different. I'm
But
telling you.
no, that would give me more reason to shoot the ball, though. That's the kind of thing it was. Like,
I don't know, man. How many young players have we seen this happen to, and they go to a coach that believes in them, and now they can't do nothing but shoot the ball?
But see,
Right.
I was going to debunk a little bit what Drew said. Like, you got to understand this, too. If we would have got Donovan Mitchell, you have to understand, like you always say.
He would not be Donovan Mitchell.
No, he wouldn't, because he wouldn't have got an opportunity, just like Dwayne Wade wouldn't if he got
He could
drafted.
have been potentially screwed up. You know what I'm saying? And that's just kind of how the Pistons do things, man.
Like, if we had Donovan Mitchell, I definitely could see him year two averaging like 14 points per game and shooting, and we wondering about him the same way.
Right.
You know, because all I know is when the chains was let off Luke and he was able to be free because we didn't have nobody else. Sad to say it like that. He was balling. That's just facts.
And see, that's what you got to
And
do.
then when
with your-
Blake Griffin came back in the playoff game, he had 16 points and 15 points. So he still was playing, but then they put him off the bench. Man, we don't got time for that. I just feel like we're going to end up just going to mess this up.
The very first game of the playoffs, I made a video saying that we need to officially start Luke Kennard in this playoff series because I know Wayne Ellington not going to show up. And I said, we go have Bruce Brown out there anyway for defense, bro. I said, that'd be the perfect combo now. Start Luke Kennard. Did they do it? No, they did not. And I'm like,
right. So this season, you got these guys going into this season. How you looking at the opportunity to see the starting lineup? What do you envision for the starting lineup this season? Do you see Luke Kennard in it, or do you see him just being a 6-man, or you know what I'm saying? Because I know he's gonna get playing time, but
I'm gonna let everybody go. I just gotta say one thing, and I'm gonna say this for the millionth time. Well, two things. One, I want Seiko to start. Two, if Luke Kennard is not started, Dwayne Casey needs to be fired. I'm not taking any less. You need to be fired. I don't want to hear any excuses at all.
I'm gonna answer Noble's question like this. Like I said a minute ago, I see Luke Kennard starting off like around 14 points and then transitioning later at the All-Star break is because they're going to try to fit him into the starting unit to play with Reggie Jackson. And once they see it from everybody, like he said, if they were to trade Reggie Jackson, depending on what they get in return, that's going to give more initiative for Luke Kennard to kind of step into that Bradley Beal role, depending on who they bring here to replace him. And he's going to score more points. And I think that's why you need to give him an opportunity to start, and he has to stay aggressive when he gets
Before we continue, I just wanted to say that all of this talking, you know what it got me thinking about, guys? Reggie Jackson is really a problem on this team. It's like he's limiting everything. It kind of reminds me what was going on with Golden Tate and the Lions. Like, if we just put, I mean, if I personally I would let Bruce Brown start over Reggie. Reggie was the worst defensive point guard in the NBA last year. So he ain't helping us on that end. I know some people talk about Luke's defense, but he's a better defender than Reggie. Anyway, go ahead, guys.
I think that Luke and Reggie interchange between starting and coming off the bench depending on the matchup. So 1 week we play Bradley Beal. Bruce was probably going to get the nod. You play someone less known. Like, for example, I know Josh Richardson's a good player in Philly. I'd probably start Luke Kennard there just for the sheer purpose that Philly can't really shoot that well. So I think they're going to be interchanged depending on matchups. When they have a good two-guard, probably when we play Houston, Bruce Brown gets the nod there. Obviously, I might not start Reggie that game too because Reggie's going to get torched that game. Just defensive matchups. When you have the advantage, you can start Luke. I think you do. I'm not sure.
Yeah, against Houston, you start Bruce Brown.
Yeah.
You might want to start Bruce Brown and Speed just for good measure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I want to start Sheaf regardless.
Well, me too. Yeah. Like Speed is the only person I'm okay with starting over Seiko, just because like I believe in Speed. I think he needs to be our point guard.
Okay, so since we're talking about that, then what is your starting lineup then? Because I know you guys talk about speed and starting lineups. So
Well,
who do
me
you?
and Drew did videos on it, so go ahead, Drew.
Let's see. Okay, so I had Reggie Jackson one, and then Bruce and Luke interchanging at the two, depending on matchups. At the three, they brought Tony Snell in here for defense in three, so I think they're going to give him the nod. And then power forward and center is Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond. That being said, your sixth man is going to be Derrick Rose, and then you're going to bring in Luke Kennard or Bruce Brown, whoever didn't start off the bench. And then I would personally bring in Shiva off the bench to be the small forward. And then, depending on how well Thon Maker's improved, you can bring in Seiko at the power forward and move Markeith to the center. Or you can keep Markeith at the power forward and leave Thon at the center. That was before we got Woods, though. So
that's
I'm
crazy.
telling you, Woods is gonna be the reason Thon's not gonna make the team because of Woods, man.
I think Thon and Christian Woods gonna battle for playing time.
And Christian Woods is gonna win. I'm telling you right now. Like I said, unless Thon came back with a spin move and he's lights out from three, like he's done. Christian Woods is just better.
And that was the biggest thing that I wanted to see from Thon, making the offseason work on his low post.
You know, Christian Woods hasn't played a lot of games. But has Thon Maker ever had a stretch like that for 5 games where you was just balling out your mind? No.
But not yet.
Not in his whole career. So, like I said, Christian Woods, I don't even mean to sound mean or anything, but Christian Woods is just better right now. We got 45 people in the chat. Make sure we get some more likes on that. I'm going to read some comments, and we're going to get your opinion on this now. Let's see. Evil Kyrie says Fee probably won't play, to be honest. I doubt that. Loudpack says Seiko is worse on defense than Luke and Reggie. I highly doubt that. Xavier Washington says trade Reggie today. Not today, but right now in the next 15 seconds. Alan Humphrey starting lineup is Drummond, Blake, Snell, Luke, and Reggie Jackson until he's traded. Evil Kyrie, he says no. He and Seiko was terrible on D in the summer league. He only played 13 minutes. Look, Seiko was bad on defense in the summer league, but all he got to do is to get used to the game. If you watch him pro against grown men, his defense, he definitely has an impact on that, and he just has to get used to the NBA. That comes quick. They overreact to his defense, but then they underreact to the scoring and him in transition and his 3-point shot. I don't get it. Fans only want to harp on the negative.
Looks ready to go.
Like Seiko came out there in them little 13 minutes where he was trash on defense. What was he doing on offense?
Putting the ball in the hoop.
Right. He was cooking them on offense. Like that move he did in transition, you know who it looked like when he did that move, and we're going to get to this right after this. It looked like Kevin Durant. Because I remember so many times I've seen Kevin Durant do that one-hop step move coming down the hill and transition. Like, Giannis would have did something else, and he would have dunked it. LeBron would have done something else, but I've seen Kevin Durant do that move so many times, and I saw some comparisons to KD. So, man, him in transition is special, man.
The thing that's going to be tough for Sekou is he didn't go to college. So, whether it's NCAA in football or basketball, whenever you make that jump to the NFL or NBA, the speed's always what kills the rookies. It takes them a while to adjust to it. Well, he didn't go to college, so he didn't even have that adjustment period. He played against a bunch of foreign people who aren't. Foreign people are different. Like, that came out weird.
No, they play different.
Yeah, they're
like that.
They're not athletically gifted. It's a different style they play over there. That's why you see people like Luka and Porzingis coming over. They're different. They're more skilled. You got guys like Zion who just came in the league who's athletically a freak. So it's a different play style. So when you come over from college to that, it's a big jump in athleticism because you're playing against grown men who can, dunk on you at any given point in time. When you got people like Blake Griffin in their prime, LeBron James in their prime, who are some of the greatest dunkers of all time. This goes on and on. When you come from it's miles ahead of that, Joe.
Yeah, Devin99 says he's not as raw as people say. I don't think Seiko is as raw as people say. But last thing on the defense, you got to give him a chance to get used to it, man. Because this was literally the first time he ever got a chance. He was battling through injuries. Of course, he's gonna be lost out there. He ain't been playing with the team. He don't got no chemistry with these guys. But you gotta look at everything. It's not that simple as people want to make it. But anyway, no
Okay.
miss.
Yeah. All right.
Your starting lineup.
All right. Now, of course, we had to go for now with Reggie Jackson. And like I said, the two guard would definitely be Kennard. It's his time to show up, and it's for us to get him fitted with the star unit to play with Blake Griffin, who is going to start, obviously, and Dre. Now, the small forward is another scenario. Now, again, we all personally want Seiko to start, but it's a big possibility he won't. If I had to choose what the small forward is going to be, it's going to be Snell, due to the fact of the matter, it's going to do a specific job, and that's play to the standard of what we need the small forward to do right now. And that is stretch the floor, shoot the ball, play defense.
Play defense. I was about to say.
Now, we got four guys who technically can play make. I know people don't like Reggie, but technically he can play make the ball a little bit. Luke Kennard can play make. As we said, Blake and Drake can even play make a little bit. So we got enough weapons starting that we can do that with. Snell just has to man down the fort for now. You know what I'm saying? So I think this gives more touches for Luke Kennard to shoot the ball since he is the designated shooter. And as long as Reggie don't make any mistakes, Dre can eat all that he wants to, and Blake don't have to burn his knees out and look like Kobe in his last couple of years.
Hey, low key though, Blake looking good, man.
Yeah.
I've been seeing some video, man. Like I know everyone think he's gonna get old and break down, but I don't know. The NBA is different nowadays. He could be getting better, man.
No, Kendra's been wrapping those fish balls around his knees. Trust me, he's all right.
Like I'm telling you, like he could be even better this year. Noble, did you give out your starting lineup?
No, I'm about to give it out
right,
now.
Go ahead.
So if I had to go with a starting lineup with the Pistons, and I'm looking at them, I'm going with first. I'm gonna start big. I'm going with Dre, going with Blake. Then at the small forward, I'm definitely gonna go with Thon Maker. No, I'm just joking. No, I'm gonna go with Sekou or either Tony Snell at the small forward. And then at the shooting guard, I'm going with Luke. And at the point, I'm going with Reggie, only because of the experience that these guys got running the offense and things of that nature. You know, it's going to take a second or a minute for Derrick Rose to get infused in what they're trying to do, but I think he'll pick it up fast. But I know Reggie better play good because some of his minutes going to get taken if he ain't playing good. And Derrick Rose going to come in and definitely hit 18, 20 points quick.
Yeah.
The Bruiser has my starting lineup. Derrick Rose, Kennard, Sekou, Blake, and Drummond. Before that, I do want to say we got 45 people in the chat. Make sure you guys like the video. Make sure all you guys subscribe to all of our channels. This is 313 JMO. Make sure you subscribe to Noble Sports. Make sure you subscribe to Known as J. All of their information and the other DSA members are in the description. So make sure you guys subscribe to us, and we're gonna keep doing this, man.
I didn't have Rose at the starting, but
yeah, I want Derrick Rose to start. I want him to start over. I think I'm gonna be honest. I think Derrick Rose is better than Reggie Jackson.
Well, we know he's better, but he's just not how he's gonna hold up though. That's the biggest thing.
But see, I would rather start him and start off hot, and get some chemistry, and maybe he misses a couple weeks. You can bring Reggie back. It's not gonna hurt. But now that chemistry is established, because I want Derrick Rose starting, honestly. And he gets hurt a lot, but we don't know what's gonna happen. He has to get hurt first. So we can't just assume that he's gonna miss 40 games, even though it's likely. But I'm this is the way I am.
So I'm
about putting the best players on the court.
Okay, I feel that, Jimmo. I feel that.
Derrick Rose is better than Reggie Jackson, so he should start. Luke Kennard is the best.
Derrick Rose is people already saying his health, and he pretty much probably going to be on load management a little bit.
Right. You know what I mean? So he definitely will be. No, him and Blake Griffin will be on load management. Andre ain't gonna miss a game. That's his defining quality besides his rebounding.
Yeah, his durability.
You knock on wood first.
Yeah. There you go. I got you. But I definitely want Derrick Rose and Luke Kennard. I mean, I could just imagine that backcourt because Derrick Rose is going to be scoring on people. Then people going to forget Luke is there, and then he just going to be shooting wide open threes. And then you got Blake freaking Griffin over there too. with Andre Drummond. And then I definitely want Seiko to start. If we don't want to start Seiko, I'm not starting Tony Snell. I'm starting Fee.
Also,
I
you
know
gonna
Tony
start
Snell is like that reliable vet, but I want to start Sweet. I'd rather start Sweet and Luke. I want dynamic
So
shooters
you want
around
shooters out on
Blake
the
and
floor.
Andre Drummond.
You want shooters out on the floor.
Yes, I think it's time for us to turn into. I mean, obviously, defenses are blood, but we can play defense and be an offensive team. I mean, the Raptors with Dwayne Casey were a great offensive and 3-point shooting team.
Okay,
We
hey,
need to
Jim,
be that.
let me read this in the comment section. Oliver Zen said, should they trade for DeMar DeRozan?
No,
No,
Okay, I said this on the other show. No, I don't know if you've seen it or not.
I know somebody said DeMar DeFrozen.
yeah, DeFrozen, like that's what I call him. My boy, shout out to Dante Chase,
He's
man.
very athletic, man. He's very athletic, and he would bring a little something to the game.
No, the reason I'm not trading for DeRozan is because I won't give up Luke for DeRozan, and I know Pop, he taking Luke, or if the trade ain't happening. So I'm not giving up Luke for DeRozan.
What about you, Drew?
Okay, I said it on the other show. I did not like the Russell Westbrook trade, and I take that twice over this trade. He does not help us. He can't shoot. He's athletic, but he's a scorer, but he doesn't fit. Like, even if, say we bring him in, okay?
Yeah.
Sure, we might do well with him. He might come back to being an all-star player. Come playoff time, he's going to disappear. Toronto got rid of him, and they won the NBA title. Now, granted, they did bring in Kawhi Leonard, much better player. He's not
right.
He doesn't have the it factor. He's not clutch
at all. DeRozan is he's a 3 with the abilities of a 2.
Yeah,
like when I say a 3, I mean the third best player on a championship team. Like he has the abilities of the second best player on a championship team, but he's the third best player on the championship team.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't want him. You bring a third best player on the championship team where Blake, with a guy Blake is basically a 2 unless you put him around the perfect team. A 2 and a 3 with Andre, who's like a 3 or a 4. Like, no.
Hey, you can't forget that DeRozan is the only guy in the league that can do a 360 layup.
No, we got some good comments. I wanted to read some of these comments. We got some good comments. I like what this guy was saying about Derrick Rose. Ira Israel says, let Rose play the first 6 minutes, then close the second 5 minutes at the beginning of the third, close the last 5 minutes of the fourth. I like that. He doesn't even have to play. He can play 26, 27 minutes a night.
Yeah, about 25, 27.
Like, he don't have to play that much. We just need him to close and start the game.
I'd play him more second half than the first half.
That's what I was
first half, and then release him for.
Like, I don't want Derrick Rose playing 30 minutes every night.
Hey,
so we have to save him, and then
So I got
1, 2, 3, 4 says J-Mo, would you fire Dwayne Casey over starting Speed? Well, no, I want him to start Speed. So, but look, I'm gonna put it like this: regardless of what I want, Luke Kennard not starting. He gotta go. I'm sorry. Like you gotta go.
You gotta go. Hey, so give me an assessment of Reggie Jackson since he's been with the Pistons. Is he everything that you bought in for and everything that you thought he was going to be? Because look, check it out. Check it out like this. When Reggie came over, we pretty much know Reggie was fighting to be a number 1 point guard in the league. And now that Reggie has come over to the team, it's like, Reggie, where is this number 1 point guard?
Well, I never thought he was all that.
But see, I'm saying Reggie. I'm not saying you, Jay. I'm saying Reggie. That's what he wanted to be. He was fighting Westbrook to not play behind him anymore, and he pretty much wanted to be his own man. And now he got a chance to run the show. And what type of assessment would you give Reggie since he's been a Piston for all these seasons? How do you look at
hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm sorry. Mario Cario says Lisa Leslie will be a better fit for the Pistons than DeMar DeRozan.
Come on, man.
Bro, hey, that's comment of the day right there. We do a comment of the day. That's comment of the day. We got 46 people in the chat. Make sure you guys like the video, man. Drew, what did you think, man, about Reggie?
it's been a roller coaster because when he first came over here, he showed glimpses of being not an all-star, but
Yeah,
like a sub all-star player, like a guy like he could always be like on the border making, but he's not gonna get in there because he's not that
Six
good.
man at
But
best.
I think the main problem with him has just been injuries. The last 2 3 years he's been hurt. He hasn't recovered
yeah,
from it yet.
yeah,
Even if he comes fully healthy, like he's not going to be anything special. But he's
yeah.
not garbage like everyone says he is. When he's
No,
healthy,
he's not
he's all
garbage.
right. He's not. I don't know if you want to say a solidified starter, but he can start for some teams, not all of
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
Obviously, we got some young guys we want to see come up and play here. So even if he comes back healthy, he's not the right fit for us.
yeah,
But he is Mr. Fourth Quarter when healthy, and
yeah,
what we
yeah.
missed from him when he did that in 2015, 2016, made the playoffs. We needed that Reggie last year, and we never got it. So if health comes back and he comes back to that old Reggie, I mean, you're really gonna have to consider what are you gonna do with him. Are you
Yeah.
going to keep him, let him play for the rest of the year? Do you trade him at the deadline? I think that's the right move. But
Yeah.
this is stupid.
I agree with that. Trade him at the deadline.
All right.
Because we don't know. I'm telling you, especially if he's having the best season of his career from a efficiency standpoint, like
Yeah.
because he's only averaged like 18. But if he's averaging 18 and shooting 45 and 37, oh, we could, and we are a winning team, like a top 5 seed. Like we could really move him. I don't know if we'll be a top 5 seed, but I'm being optimistic.
Hey,
We could really move him, and you don't know what we could get back. Like we could get back something great for him.
and guys, you know what? When Reggie came over, I pretty much thought Reggie was gonna be balling out because I remember that game Reggie had against Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum in Portland, and he dropped 40. I was like, man, if this is the Reggie we getting, y'all better watch out. He was on fire that game, and I'm like, man, Reggie was giving it to him, and then after that, he ended up getting injured and never was quite the same.
Yeah, he's never been insane. I agree with that. His first year, first couple of years when he never got that first, what was it, an ankle?
It was grade 3 ankle sprain, the worst.
Yeah,
thing
that
Worst
one messed him up. But I mean, and then when he came back, he re-injured it. That's the word. Like you can come back and be 100% healthy, but if you re-injure the same ankle and tear it again,
Like
then
Kobe.
that makes it irreparable.
Well, the worst thing about it is, like, it heals, but a lot of it's mental. Like, you're always going out there thinking about your favorite. Like, it's fine, but you're always consciously in your head thinking, I don't want to roll this again, because it is some of the worst pain you can feel, especially grade 3. It's worse than breaking it. So the road to recovery is not only a physical one, because it looks like his athleticism is back. You can see that in game 4. He had that putback dunk. He had the most dunks in his career before the injuries last season. So his athleticism is coming back. This offseason is all going to be mental. He needs to get back in that mindset of being the Reggie Jackson, the Mr. Fourth Quarter, Mr. October, if you will, because that's pretty much what we're going to see from him is October.
And it's crazy because Reggie was when he before he came over from the Thunder, he was playing above the rim. You know what I'm saying? Every time Reggie was going to the hole, he was trying to dunk. Now you get a layup or a floater. You know what I'm saying? So you know that his game has kind of like, you know what I'm saying, evolved to something else now. He ain't trying to always.
He rolled his ankle in OKC in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I was gonna say about him. Like, I never thought he was like the GOAT when he got here. Now, my thing is what? No, but my thing is this: the two factors that really hurts Pistons fans the most about Reggie Jackson to me is that he's, like you say, he's not the same because of his injuries, especially when you look at 2017. I think that was going to be his best year ever since the 2015 season because the way he was playing, we were doing just fine. Like, when you think about it, the whole reason why we made that trade for Blake Griffin was because he was gone and we were losing. So the thing is, the other thing about Reggie Jackson is the contract issue. The issue about his contract is not that he got a few years to be here with us, but it's just the amount per year you were giving him. If he was only given like a $40 million contract for like 4 or 5 years, it would be a little bit more favorable because it'd be easier to move him probably if his production is good. And I think that's the issue too as well that I would have. But other than that, it's because of the injuries, man. And if you constantly got to keep getting injured out, you know it's going to take a minute for you to come back, especially if you're a player in your ankles and your legs area. That's going to take a minute. So
that's true.
and then not to mention, your coach can be blamed for it. He allowed for a while Reggie to take all the blame, and that can tear up the locker room. That can tear up a lot of things, and the chemistry is not there. So until y'all can get all that fixed out, you can have Westbrook or whoever it is. That don't mean that y'all go win everything. If the philosophy and everything else plus the injury stack up on you, you're not gonna win nothing. Because for our concern, maybe they should at times have Reggie out there with Westbrook when he was in OKC to help shoot. He's a decent shooter.
Yeah, he is.
Well, who's to say we bring in Reggie Jackson if Jennings doesn't get hurt? He's the only reason he got brought in because Jennings tore his Achilles. We were trying to make the playoffs in.
Right.
Everything Stan Van Gundy did was to make the playoffs. He didn't get Blake Griffin here to win championships. He was trying to save his job and make the playoffs. He wasn't bringing Reggie Jackson here to win championships. He was trying to bring him here to make the playoffs and save his job.
Right. But
I just feel like at the end of the day, Reggie Jackson isn't a starting point guard. On the bottom 10 teams in the league, he could start because they're the bottom 10 teams, but he's more of a 6th or a 7th man. And we just put him in a role that, I mean, he flourished in a role early on, but I don't think he's ready for it because he's not good anymore as he used to be. But even when he was at his best, he still is a 6th man to me.
Right.
But like a Eric Gordon or a Lou Williams, like he could really thrive in that, because what makes you as a point guard in the NBA, what makes you more of a 6th man than a starter sometimes, it's the fact that you're a point guard in the NBA. You have to be somewhat of a playmaker. And most of the 6 men in the league aren't elite playmakers. Most of them, not all of them, most. But Reggie doesn't playmake. He's a scorer. I mean, that's what he does. I don't have any problem with that, but that's what he is. And this is the thing.
That's true. That's what Reggie is. He is a scorer.
When you don't playmake and you're just a scorer, and because this didn't change when he was completely healthy, you don't play defense, you cannot start for the best teams in the league. Like you can't just be a scorer who isn't the best at playing. He's not horrible. He's good enough, average at least sometimes. And then you don't play defense too. So
you know what player I wish the Pistons had, and I always keep saying this all the time, even though I'm not going to give my wish.
Who, CJ or Dame?
Yeah, you already know it's CJ McCollum.
Oh, me too, bro. I kill for CJ.
Pistons had CJ McCollum because that's actually what they need. A guy that can shoot. A guy that can, you know what I'm saying, he can handle the ball, you know what I'm saying, he can set the offense up, and he can, you know what I'm saying, and he's aggressive, man.
Well, hey, I don't think any of us are gonna argue with you about CJ McCollum.
You know something off the record? If Brandon Jennings, because the fact that Drew said it, like Brandon Jennings would have never got hurt. Yeah. I'm still not against, despite that, I still wouldn't have been against not bringing Reggie here. I would have still was willing to bring him here regardless. Because off the bench, he, like you said, 6th man. He'd be an extra score off the bench.
Well, they worked well together when they were here, when they brought Jennings off the bench. But then we traded Jennings away.
Right. For Tobias. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Oliver Zane said trade him now. I would trade Blake for McCollum in a first.
Man, I wish we had McCollum, man.
I don't know. I wouldn't trade that unless I see what Seiko and Speed are. If Seiko and Speed look like they can be something, I might do that. Yeah, like that's how much I would want McCollum because he's very young. But I did want to move on to something else, guys. So a lot of people in the chat been talking about it. Make sure you guys like the video if you haven't. Bruce Brown, he gets the most playing time out of all of the young players. He's been getting the most shine. He's the most talked about guy in summer league. He got the green light to do whatever he wanted. He played pretty well. Even some people think that Dwayne Casey would start him over Luke Kennard, which to me is a travesty. So let's talk about Bruce Brown. What is Bruce Brown? Is Bruce Brown just a role player? Can he be a starting point guard? Is he a late kind of bloomer? Because the one thing about Bruce Brown, when he was a rookie, he was scoring like 29 against Duke and Kentucky, and then he had an injury because he was supposed to be a lottery pick until he had his injury. So then he had his injury and then had to grind, came out as a junior, and now he's doing this. And we see what he can do. I'm not as high on Bruce Brown. I'm higher on Svi, obviously. But what is Bruce Brown? Is he just a role player? What is he? Loudpack says Bruce Brown is the top 20 defender in the league. You're delusional. I'm sorry. No, he's not. I'm sorry. I like Bruce Brown a lot, but he's not a better defender than Stanley Johnson. I bet you wouldn't even put Stanley Johnson on that list, Loudpack.
And that's a fact.
For real.
I think the thing with Bruce Brown, there's two things with him.
He's a top 20 defender at the point guard position. I'll give you that.
Bruce needs to get that big dog out. He's got that little dog in him right now. He's got that scrappy dog. He needs to be that enforcer guy. He needs to be this team's version of a Dennis Rodman who comes out there and does the dirty work, of Tayshaun Prince who came out there and did the dirty work. He needs to be that guy. He needs to be our Marcus Smart, the guy who other teams hate, but when he's on your team, you love him. Like, he needs to be that kind of defender where even though he's going against people who are better than him, he can't back down. He can't show weakness. The second thing is if
you need to be able to score along with that.
If he ever develops that jump shot, he is going to be a very, very good player.
Yeah, I agree with that totally.
Yeah, if he develops a jump shot, then we're talking about Avery Bradley. And I know he doesn't really play like Danny Green, because Danny Green's a pure shooter, but I'm talking about 3-and-D guys that can, dribble a little bit. And he can play maybe better than Danny Green, more athletic. We talking about a more athletic Avery Bradley.
Patrick
If he actually develops a shot, he'll be better than Bradley to me.
Yeah, I just said a more athletic Avery Bradley.
It takes time. He's been in the league 1 year. These guys, there's a reason he fell. It wasn't just injury. People see these things as an investment. So people who want to win now pass on these guys. The Pistons did a good job getting him because he is going to be a work in progress build. He's not going to be a super. I don't know if
do you think he deserves more minutes than like Luke or
not right
or
now.
Seiko?
He might have more potential. See, the thing about Bruce that makes him different from that though is you can't teach the mindset of defense, and he's got that. A lot of guys don't see defense as important as offense. Luke is an offensive player. His defense is what keeps him out of the starting lineup. If he played defense just a little bit worse than Bruce, he's in the starting lineup, no questions asked. But because Bruce already got that defensive mindset, he's starting. And you can teach offense. You can develop offense. It just takes longer. He's going to get there. He's going to be a good offensive player.
And we lost Drew.
Man. Well,
I'm not saying wrong. That's the reason he did start.
Yeah.
Oh, he got him back. Well, this is the thing about Bruce, though. I like your point about talking about he's a defense, and the defense is the reason why he starts over Luke. But to me, he's not that good enough a defender to start over an offensively gifted player. Like, I'll keep bringing up Stanley because as much as people don't like him on offense, he was elite, like, at defense, like completely elite. Now, Bruce Brown was good last year, but he wasn't elite. And when you're elite, then you can start over an offensive player. But whatever Bruce Brown stops on the defensive end, Luke would offset that on the offensive end. Like, when I think about the point guards that defend like Lonzo, like Ben Simmons, those are guys you can start over, guys that can shoot because they can really play defense, especially Lonzo. Ben Simmons, he definitely can play. They can really shut down people. So, and Bruce Brown is a really good defender, and they can also and then Lonzo can't score as well as Ben Simmons, but at least he can still shoot 3-pointer. He can shoot 34%. So he at least can give you something else. And then his passing is elite. Ben Simmons can't shoot, but he can score. And then his passing is elite on top of the defense. To me, it has to be more than one thing. Bruce Brown was a very good defender, but what else?
Right. And see,
and now he looks like he's improved though. So I'm not limiting him.
Right.
But and Svi and Luke, they can do multiple things.
And see, now that you say that, you know what I'm saying, coming into the season, that was one of the things in the offseason that I thought that they had to work on. Bruce Brown needed to work on his offense. And now that he got an opportunity to play a little bit of the point, now he has to be able to work on the playmaking and just get better, a little bit more better on defense and be able to knock the jump shot down. And I think Bruce is going to get more time, man. Out of all the young people, Bruce got the most playing time. Casey trusted him the most. Out of all the other guys, none of the other guys got an opportunity as much like Speed. I know they said he was hurt, but Kyrie and the rest of the guys or whoever else was young on the bench, they didn't get that opportunity like Bruce did. Bruce was playing, he was starting and getting a lot of minutes out there. So I just
one thing he did that happened though is because he was a junior. Yeah. So he come in with the NBA body, a little bit more mature.
Mm-hmm.
And that NBA body thing is a real thing, and you can see Bruce Brown, and he has a nice NBA body, so that was another reason, a little physicality, but he shouldn't have been more playing time than Luke.
I think people got the misconception. when it comes to last year about Bruce. Now, do I think he should got more playing time than Luke? No, but I think we misunderstanding it. When Bruce Brown got minutes, it was off accident, really, when you think about it. Reggie Bullock wasn't really showing none. Luke Kennard was actually hurt to start the season. GR3 was the biggest disappointment.
I think Bullock was hurt too.
Yeah, he was hurt for a minute, but then he came back sooner, but he wasn't doing all that good. And it's like they were going through rotation. So because he offered something different off the rip, he got minutes. A lot of times he shifted between small forward and small forward and shooting guard. But realistically, if you want to talk about it, Bruce Brown was only playing the substitute small forward role. Luke Kennard had the opportunity to play shooting guard, and they did not do that.
Bruce Brown can't guard small forwards, bro.
I mean, it's not. I mean, I'm going based off how they did on the depth.
To me, it looked like he was playing the two. I don't.
Yeah, at times they switched him and Reggie Bullock.
Because Wayne Ellington and Bullock were playing the three.
Yeah, I'm starting off early when he first started getting minutes, though. That's when
he first started. We had a 3-man.
Yeah, but they didn't.
It wasn't him.
But they were putting him at the 2, though. They would put Reggie Bullock at 2, and there's it was some reason put Bruce Brown at the 3. And you know how they were doing things weird because they put Stanley on the bench because he wasn't working out starting, remember? So like when Bruce Brown, I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward. So when Bruce Brown was starting at the small forward, that's where they had him at after Bullock and all of them was traded. Luke Kennard should have been starting at the 2. And that's just how I feel. He should have been starting at 2 with Bruce at the 3, even though we don't.
You talking about after we got Wayne Ellington?
Yeah, and
that's the record show. When Bruce Brown was starting at 3, we was getting whooped on.
Right, true. But I mean, yeah, they didn't do anything. I mean, they didn't get Sweeve any minutes. So I mean, at that point, that's why they did it. I don't feel like
Steve had his own issues.
Right, and to me, I ain't gonna say like I said. I don't believe he should have got more minutes than Luke. But I just kind of understood why they did it. It was because he was somebody that they knew they can throw on one assignment at the very least. If anything, they should have let him help playmate instead of making Reggie playmate so much because he could have did that and passed the ball around. And they should have let him attack the rim more to score points when they struggled shooting. And I think he could have got more out of him. That's the only thing I will say on that.
Well, Bruce was hesitant at attacking the rim sometimes when he could, though. He still had a lot of rookie ups and downs on the offensive end. Sometimes he did look tentative attacking offensively, like on the inside.
But you still have to blame other guys for not playing good, like GR3, who was supposed to be in.
I mean, when we got Wayne Ellington, he was playing good. So
yeah, he was.
But Wayne Ellington is another reason why we didn't use Luke. But because now that you have Wayne, you could just have Bruce. But Devin99 says, "How do you?" I don't know what's going on in the chat.
Yeah,
hey, they've been arguing about Seiko and Luke and everybody else. I'm at the point where how you take Luke over Seiko though. I love Seiko, but Luke is Luke right now. I think Seiko's gonna be way better than Luke in the future. But just like Lopez said, Luke had the ability to give you 20 if he was the second option on this team.
I give Seiko at least 3 years to really hone the game. You know what I'm saying?
Like Luke can be the second option on this team.
Yeah. Luke can shoot, man. He can shoot, man. He just got to go out there with the confidence that he, you know what I'm saying, pull it, man. It don't matter. Pull it.
Noise.
My issue is point guard. I keep bringing it up because the reason why Luke is tentative and all of that other stuff, because when he gets the ball, he has to do something. Because if he doesn't, he gets benched. So the way you remedy that is ball movement. Like he's not flowing. Neither is Blake. Neither is Drummond. To be honest, they're not really flowing. What is our offense? Our offense doesn't flow. It doesn't move. If you put Luke on the Celtics, the Warriors, the Lakers, the Clippers, the Nuggets, Portland, like these teams that have offenses and ball movement, he would flourish perfectly. But I don't know what's going on with the Pistons because our starting point guard like to pound the rock, and when he can't pound the rock, he gets mad and gives it to Blake Griffin. Then Blake Griffin start pounding the rock, and then we can't say nothing about Blake pounding the rock because he's the only one who can score. Like,
right? It's dribble, pass. Dribble,
score. You either get fouled or you score. Like that's not an offense.
Right.
Now here's the thing. This is where Andre could come in because if you go past Blake the ball, instead of making Blake have to dribble, then try to score or whatever, have him lob it up to Dre for a dunk. I mean, use that as your escape route or something if you can't come up with something. And that's what this has got stuck at a lot. When you got past the whole Blake Griffin, he got to push the ball up the court. Then he taking like 30,000 dribbles, leaning up on somebody. They go double team up on one of the other guys.
As
soon as
before we get to Drew, I did want to. That's why Luke needs to be out there, Nomis. It's the spacing,
right?
When he's out there, Blake getting 1v1s, Dre getting 1v1s.
I've seen him do that before, but he will still sometimes freeze up at the line, and that's why I say if that's gonna happen, then you gotta get him to lob the ball.
Right,
and let Dre dunk, because you see when sometimes he did lob it up, Dre would like lay up the ball or miss it. I used to love watching Blake Griffin kind of yell at Dre like, dunk it.
Hey, Drew, we gonna get you here. I gotta respond to this because this is interesting. You know what, Drew? I'm gonna get your take on this. So we talking to the Wizards, and they say they either want Luke or Seiko for Bill. You giving them Seiko? That's a great point, no. Devin 99. That was a wonderful point because I'm not giving them Seiko, but I would give them Luke.
Seiko is the only person, in my opinion, that's untouchable. Now,
I've been saying that on my videos. He's completely untouchable.
Man, so you're not giving up Bradley Beal for him?
No. Drew, expound on that some more, man.
The potential. I'm already getting tongue twisted over this. The potential for Seiko is ridiculous. No, it's just my personal thought because, as a Pistons fan, we've been burnt so much trading away young talent. Coming back to bite us, you got the coach who's supposed to be able to develop young talent and turn them into stars. The thing that's so good for Sekou is he already respects Casey right off the bat because he said Sekou was his favorite player and he loved to see what Dwayne Casey was going to do with him because he loved to see what Dwayne Casey did with Siakam. So when you have a young player who's supposed to be a top 10 talent fall to you at 15 and he already has respect and love for your coach, you don't trade that player away.
Yeah, I can see that.
Unless it's for a guy like Anthony Davis or something.
To me, right. You have to trade him for another potential generational player because Anthony Davis already established. But look, this is the thing with Seiko. You have to look at age and skill set. Hold on. You got to look at age and skill set. At that age, 6'9", very athletic already. He in the top end of NBA athleticism. Amazing in transition, can dribble, can shoot, can rebound.
All right, Jam. I don't
He's
make
only 18.
But we got to shout out to King. Evan King with the $5 donation. Appreciate it, man. Have a good.
Shout out King, man. King just got
6,000 subscribers, man.
Yeah, man. He just got 6K, man. Doing it big over there.
I'm glad the family all right, man. You know what I'm saying? Hope everybody good, bro.
Yeah, congratulations, man, on the 6K.
Yeah, this is our new basketball show above the rim with DSA, man. We just talking some Pistons, man.
We gotta have you on Sunday too, bro.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Definitely do. Xavier Washington said, "Do that $5 count for all of us because we're a group?"
No, but you got to get your own.
Okay, so yeah, but I'm not giving up. I don't know, man. I'm just very high on Seiko.
Yeah,
and it's not because he's coming to the Pistons because a lot of people think we're being homers. Most of us thought he was a top 10 pick. I thought 100. I was 100% sure, 100%. He wasn't falling to us. Impossible. I was high on him before.
We kind of skipped over him doing our pre-draft show because we didn't think he was going to be there, so we didn't even talk about him.
Right. Yeah, like when I did my who should the Pistons draft video, make sure you guys check that out on my channel. I was like Carson Edwards was number one. Yeah, Kevin Porter. Yeah. I said Seiko, and I said Seiko has the third highest potential in the draft. And I thought we might even have to trade up to get him. I didn't think we were going to get Seiko. That was the last thing on my mind.
Hey,
and we got him.
Comment session, bro.
Oh, I'm not giving him up for you had to be a generational player. I'm not giving him up for nobody.
Bro, we getting trolled like a mother in the comment section. They talking some trade Seiko for Larry Nance Jr. and Blake and Seiko for Andrew Wiggins. No.
Oh, no, don't worry, don't read Kevin. He said some wild stuff.
Man, we just gonna ignore that.
Right.
We just gonna ignore all that.
I went live Sunday, dude. And he was all over the place. I'm surprised.
Devin 99. Hey, I said this earlier. Only person I'm giving up I remember I was talking to Man Beats. I said the only person I give up Seiko for right now is a guy like Giannis. Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm not. even then, I don't think I want to give him up, man. If this is,
Oh, you crazy now?
no, reason why I say that is not about Giannis. It's just I want to see him what he's going to develop to for us. That's kind of why. Like, if
You crazy? I'll say it again if you need me to.
But you gotta understand this.
Giannis
That's
develops
your
a jump
favorite.
shot,
That's
it's
one of your
over.
favorite player,
If
though.
Giannis develops a jump shot, he could be the greatest player to ever live, bro. Like MVP. Nah, come on, bro. Like you tripping.
Right.
Okay.
Anyway, move on to the next topic, man. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but we'll talk about it once more. Jordan Bone. What's gonna happen to this kid, guys?
Oh boy.
You got this one?
Yeah.
You know where he's going,
Sound
though.
like you had something to say there, man.
You already know where he's going.
Yeah, look, it's like this. They got him on a two-way contract, so I believe he will. It's kind of the reason why I don't feel like Tim Frazier will make the roster low key, like because. But then again, he may be full-time G League. You know how the Pistons do. They'll put you on a full two-way contract, but they'll still leave you in the G League. So I think that's where he's going to develop at. Next year's another story, but for now, I think this is a development year for him.
Drew?
I don't think we're going to see much of him this year in the Pistons red, white, and blue. I think he's going to play a lot for the Grand Rapids Drive, which might be best for him. I don't know. There's like you said, man, we are stacked at young guards, so it's going to be hard for any of these guys to create separation for themselves unless they're just an all-star, which I don't think any of them are going to be an all-star right away, if ever. So they're going to have to do something very unique, not just for Bone, but for the young guys already who are fighting for spots. They have to do something to stand out.
Yeah.
Now, Bone played very well in the summer league. I was very impressed with him. I did not expect him to play that well. I thought he was going to be good. I was not expecting him to score that easily. So, I don't know, man. It's up to the Pistons. I think at least this year, he is not going to be on the main roster.
Yeah. Because it's way too many guards on the team. It's way too many.
Now, come back to me after the trade deadline. If we trade Reggie, there might be an opening.
Right. They might get Reggie and Langston Galloway together.
Yeah. So what did you think of what's going to happen to Bone? You agreeing with what they said? Noble?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. Pretty much. I was looking at the comment section. Pretty much. Yeah, man. I think that I think he's definitely going to the development league. He wanted to develop because it's just way too many guards on the team for him to get the opportunity and be able to shine. Now, his biggest bet is to play well in the preseason. When he get an opportunity to play in the preseason just to shine, man, so he can get an opportunity to possibly, you never know what can happen. So if he plays good in the preseason and they allow him to play in the preseason, then I definitely think that they should roll with that. But if not, he's going to the G League. I already know. It's hands down, he's going to the G League to develop his game.
I'm gonna say if we can get rid of Langston and Tim Frazier, which shouldn't be that hard. I think Jordan Bone he'll be bouncing back from the G League and sitting in the street clothes. Basically, I think he could be on this roster throughout the entire season, but he's never gonna play.
Yeah.
Kind of how Kyrie Thomas was last year, we talked about him too, and that's a guy he's kind of competing with minutes with. But like I said, when Langston's gone, Tim Frazier gone, then your actual point guards, in name, not in position. Reggie, D Rose, Bruce Brown, Kyrie, and Jordan Bone. So obviously Jordan Bone would not be playing. He'll be sitting in street clothes, and we'll be going with those four. Spee is a point guard. He's a 6'8" point guard, but he's positionless to where he can play three positions.
Hey, what do you guys think about Benny Boatwright? I know they're talking about him in the comments section.
Well, what happened is I love Benny Boatwright. He got hurt though.
Your question
I think we would be talking about him a lot if he didn't get hurt.
I think that's another player for another year development kind of thing because he has a lot of potential, man.
No, I think Benny Boatwright could really be a 8th man, 9th man. I think he could be, or he could be better than an 8th or 9th man.
That dude can flat out shoot, man.
Yeah, and it's different. It's levels to the shooting stuff. That's why I give Kennard so much respect because anybody can shoot a 3-point shot. Are you wet from mid range?
Yeah.
Like, can you
Rip,
do
like
other
Rip
stuff?
was. You know how
And Boatwright can do it.
you know how Rip was when he was on the Pistons. All Rip
Oh
did
yeah,
mid-range jump shot, and he excelled at it, and he was so good at it.
one of the best mid-range shooters of all time.
Oh,
Yes.
Jim, you see that one? Well, look at that comment.
Yeah, man. Isn't Frazier supposed to be decent? I don't know where we got that from, but I told you Tim Frazier is trash. So I'm sticking to that.
Off the record, I'm a backtrack. Son say, yeah, I would trade for Giannis. I just thought about it.
Oh.
Yeah, I would go ahead and backtrack.
No, I'm like, hey man, I kind of let you off the hook, but I'm like, you crazy, right?
What'd you say? I trade my dog, my boat, my car. Give me Giannis.
Like, maybe if Giannis was 28, I'd give you some leeway. Dude, 24, dog.
He's
Yeah.
young. He's
That's
still-
why I remember that. I just remember that.
Hey, y'all, and the thing about Giannis is he's been working on his 3-point shot. Once he gets the 3-point shot, it's over.
Well, he already has a 3-point shot. He just can't shoot it a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's been working on it, knocking them. You know, he's been knocking some.
Like even against the Raptor series, he shot what 37% from three.
Yeah,
But you know, when you only make 2 or 3 at best, that's not gonna do. You got to be able to make more than that sometimes.
I mean, he's just a weird build. He's almost 7 foot tall if he's not already. And
Right.
his arms are so lengthy. It's tough for him. That's what makes Kevin Durant so special. Is him being able to be that guard who can shoot like that. Like you'll probably never see that again at that height.
Yeah.
Giannis needs to get that same touch. And it's going to be tough for him because his arms are so long. His shot is all whack.
He got huge hands too.
Mhm.
Well, that's what makes. I mean, everybody has that thing. Well, not everybody. Let me stop it. The
But do you
elite,
think
legendary players in the NBA all have their thing. KD is being 7-foot sniper.
Yeah,
they can handle the ball. So you won't see that, but then you won't see somebody Giannis height that's that athletic. You'll never see that.
Yeah.
But the thing is with Giannis, and this is just an option, do you think it's possible maybe he needs to step back further from the line and shoot? I'm like,
I feel like he's
I
like
don't know, man. Giannis can shoot threes. He just needs more practice. That's what I think.
yeah.
Because I mean, I watched him literally make 4 threes in a game, and like I remember watching that Philly, like he was just shooting them. And like I said, in the playoffs, he shot threes. At least the Raptor series.
Woods,
He just needs to be able to do it.
Yeah, I know Christian Woods will be really good, but it's just like, dang, because you gotta wonder what they gonna do with Markieff. Then, if he is that guy, what they gonna do with Morris? Are they gonna make him the primary back? Well, I guess Don to be out.
But Morris is a power forward. He only plays center by necessity. And I agree with what King said. Yeah, we talked about Christian Wood early. No, Christian Wood is the reason why Thon Maker is not gonna make this team. Like I said, unless Thon Maker got a spin move.
Yeah.
Can lay the ball up, can dribble a little bit, and is shooting 37% from 3.
Yeah,
he's out of there.
As tall as Thon is, and you know how he's very versatile with his body. He just needs to really get better in the post move and on his defense. If he's blocking shots like crazy, man, Thon Maker would be a huge asset to the Pistons.
Because he got
Thon Maker, but I like his defense.
Yeah,
but not his post defense.
Yeah, if he gets better in the post with
his problem ain't defense, it's offense.
His offense, he just needs some. He
needs more strength, man. That's what he needs.
He don't even need more. He needs to be better shooting. He need more offensive moves. Like it ain't even as simple as strength.
Yeah,
he don't got no moves.
Trying to block
if I'm him, if I'm Thon Maker, I'm calling Kevin Garnett up and saying, "Hey, man, how did you do it, KG? You know what I'm saying? I want to learn." Knock these 10, 15 foot jump shots down. I want to work in the post. I want to be able to spin, turn, you know what I'm saying? Shoot over both shoulders, both hands. Man, I need to work with you. You know what I mean?
King said I need to eat some grits. Hey, hold up, guys. Y'all remember Beast Mode? Yeah, Beast Mode said he is Adam Bucket. Art. He said his other account got deleted. Well, make sure you sub to all of us again. Beast Mode. What's up, Beast Mode? I didn't know that was you.
Bucket, baby. What's up?
Yeah, but like I'm saying, man, Thon gonna have to come back 245 and balling, and I just don't see it. And Christian Wood, like he already got the talent. Let's just be 100 about it. Like I said, has Thon Maker ever had a 5 game? Like it was, they say it's a very small sample size and it's only a 5 game stretch at the end of the season. Well, has Thon Maker ever did that?
Hey, Drew, what do you think about Thon?
Well, let me say this because I was trying to get this in here. I don't get where the big men went away. Like, I know Shaq's a different breed, but he was dominant. You don't see players coming in the league dominant anymore. They're all skilled. It's different. But big men don't have the same post moves that they had back in the day. They all want to shoot threes, which is
Right.
fine. It's fine. It works. But if you get someone in the league like Shaq, it's over. Like, no one's stopping that. If you get someone like Hakeem, the footwork of Hakeem, it's over with. If KG played in the league today, it's over with. No one's stopping him down low. You don't have these post players anymore that are effective. Everyone does it once in a while. They get a post hook here, a fadeaway there.
Well, that's why Embiid and AD are so highly touted.
Yeah,
in
but
Jokic.
even
Because Embiid
Embiid-
and Jokic, they got footwork and they have post moves.
Even Embiid settles too much for threes, though. Like, it's
Yeah.
okay to shoot it.
Well, that's because of Ben Simmons, though.
Yeah, but it's not necessary. Embiid should be dominant down there, man.
He should be.
That's a little bit different, but he still has great post game. Like,
Hey, you know why I think it's like that, guys? I think it's because every team has tried to build their offense like the Golden State Warriors. Everybody can't beat the Golden State Warriors. No, use those guys in the post, and that's how you could beat the Golden State Warriors. Use those big man in the post.
I
Part
think
of
it's
zone
Understand,
defense. A lot more teams play zone than they were back in the day since they made it legal. So you can put
Right.
2 or 3 guys down there, and if you don't have shooters, it's not going to work. So, for instance, back to the Embiid situation, if you played zone against Embiid down there, you could stop him in the post. It's what Toronto did to Milwaukee in the playoffs. They put 3 guys down there in the paint on Giannis, and they made everyone else score except for Giannis, and they were able to come back and beat him.
You know,
yeah,
so
what the Raptors did was, I mean, people always want. I mean, I know Kawhi played great defensively on Giannis, but bro, he was getting guarded by 4 people. Dog. It reminded me of what happened to LeBron the first time against the Spurs and against Miami, bro. But Giannis didn't choke like that Miami. He still had averaged 22 and 15. But that wall they built, I'm like, and then how are you gonna combat this? And that's why these big guys are trying to shoot, because even when you talented like a Giannis, like an Embiid, they'll just build a wall to keep you from getting close to the paint. Unless you have a point guard that can get you the ball, them elite guards.
But see, that's why I feel like that's low key the Pistons' fault. Ever since Ben Wallace, things have not been the same. That's just how
I
I
don't
feel.
even know what you mean.
Yeah.
Because it's like, no, the reason why I say this, because you gotta understand that this guy was probably the most dominant defender we've seen in a long time, bro.
Yeah, Ben was
He
no
played-
joke. Him and him.
The way
Dwight
he
Howard
played
too was for a
defense,
minute.
right? The way he played defense, man, he can guard any center any type of way, what they was coming with. And I feel like they open up these zones now, and you see for centers sometimes it's hard to check other big men at the 3 line. And I think that's why it's always, when I in my videos in the past I've said that shooting threes or long range jumpers from for centers is a cheap but effective way for centers to stay relevant or be, better scorers. And I said I just don't like it. I don't like the
Well,
way they
it
play.
goes under what Drew said though. They don't, because if you have skill, I mean, let's just take a second, guys. Let's look at the best centers.
Yeah.
B, Jokic, Boogie went 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
B, Jokic, Boogie, and then it's other guys that they all have footwork or post game, and they're all talented on the inside and can score. And that's why they're the elite guys. These other centers like Andre, he's very talented. Karl Anthony Towns, he has post game, but Andre very talented, right?
Yeah.
But Clint Capella is better maybe defensively, but where is, I mean, and I know Dre doesn't have as many moves, but where are his moves? Clint Capella has no moves.
He has no moves. He can't.
Rudy Gobert, we know Gobert is a great player. Where is his moves? And that's why he's not the elite echelon of these centers.
Everyone's unbiased to Dre, but where's Dre's moves? Like, what is he, 280?
Yeah, but the thing about Dre is after those like 5 guys I named, he's like literally the best center because of he can dribble better than all those guys, and then he can rebound, and he still can score 18 points a game. So it's like after you're Embiid and Jokic and healthy Boogie and Cat and AD, is definitely Dre. That's his advantage.
DeAndre Ayton neither, because he's kind of.
Oh no, I love Aiden.
Yeah,
but he's young though. He's young.
Yeah, he's a young guy, but he got that game where he can hit it from outside.
No, Aiden is special. Like, I think he's worth a #1 overall pick, regardless of Luka and Trae Young. Aiden is special. Like he's gonna be special. He just got to get out of Phoenix. Like if you put Ayton on the Celtics, Ayton will be a superstar. And I'm telling you, like Ayton has a lot of skills, man.
Hey man, Phoenix used to be good back in the days, man. You know,
yeah, but they got like the worst management in. I was about to say in football, but they got the worst management in basketball.
Yeah, they're not good now, but yeah, back in the days when Steve Nash and Joe Johnson and the Matrix, John Marion.
I mean, you had Steve Nash. You had one of the greatest point guards of all time. What's been missing in Phoenix?
Coach.
Point guard. Like if they had a point guard all this time, Phoenix would be on. But I don't think they go. They had the chance. Remember, we talked about this during the draft. They had a chance to get a point guard and was like, "No."
He passed on it.
Like that's why I'm done with Phoenix, bro. Like
they went and got Ricky Rubio.
Oh yeah. $51 million for 3 years.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Reading some comments. Make sure you guys like the video if you haven't already. The Bruiser says Jokic is the player you want now. If I was a GM, I would do what I could to get him. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm gonna be honest with you. It has never been a player in the NBA like Nikola Jokic. I mean, real. It's not no player like him. So Jokic might be the guy that you want of the mold. But you're not gonna find another Nikola Jokic.
And man, Kevin Duckworth, man. Kevin Duckworth.
Who?
Kevin Duckworth on the Portland Trailblazers.
I was about to say, you talking about Portland? Man, like I say, there's not another Jokic, man. Because he can, like, he's not, he can't jump and he can't play defense like that. But he's a walking triple double.
Yeah, the dude can play.
And he's only 24. I did not know he was that young. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, Denver got a scary team, man. I can't even front on Denver. Denver definitely has a
I've never seen him like this before.
He said the last name pronounced like go-kart with a B. So Adam Bokart. That's Beast Mode, y'all. Everything he says, Drummond always destroy Jokic. I mean, Drummond everybody has their matchups. We know what he does to Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
Terrence Ross plays for another team, Oliver, so I don't think we could get Terrence Ross. I've been wanting Terrence Ross.
I think he signed back with Orlando.
Yeah. But, I want to give our shooters a chance. We still got Tony Snell. He supposedly should still be able to shoot. So, and then you got Svi and Luke. It's not like we filled with shooters, but if you brought Terrence Ross, we got too many guards, man.
Yeah. I was begging for Terrence Ross last year. I was like, man, trade Reggie Jackson right now for Terrence Ross. What's his
Terrence
name?
Ross was like one of my number one free agents.
Terrence Ross, man. The point guard we used to have on the team. You know who I'm talking about. Augustine. I was like, trade Reggie right now for both of them.
I was mad when we traded away DJ for Reggie. That was my dude.
Yeah, I was kind of too. He killed us one game, man. Oh,
hey, God. Man, DJ is better than y'all think, man.
Yeah, he's just old.
He showed it, man. He hit that little game winner on the Raptors, man.
He's a better shooter than Ish. That's the other thing. 3.
Yeah, man. The game is all about shooting, and I did want to ask y'all. So before we go, looking at the East, I know we say we want the Pistons to be a 6 seed or whatever, or better. But let's actually look at the East. Yeah. You got Milwaukee, you got Philly. Where do you think we realistically can be though? Because when you look at it, you got Milwaukee, you got Philly, then you have Boston still have the Pacers, still got Brooklyn, Orlando, you still have Miami. You got a lot of teams there, so it might be even tougher to make the playoffs this year than last year. And you got your random up and coming teams that's sneaky, like the Hawks, that could get some wins off that you need to get these higher seedings.
I'm gonna say the Pistons anywhere between 5 and 8.
Yeah,
I think that's safe right there. Anywhere.
Okay, but look, 5. So that means we're gonna be better than the Pacers, because regardless of whatever you want to say, they a regular season team. I don't know why. They are.
Yeah.
Then we had to be better than the Celtics, and we had to be better than Brooklyn.
But is Victor? Yeah, Victor, is he on his way back?
Yeah, but they got Malcolm Brogdon too.
First
yeah, that is right. They picked up Malcolm Brogdon.
But see, that's the thing about the NBA. That's the thing about the NBA. Just because things look kind of bleak, you never know how games will go. Like you never know who can get injured at the right time. You never know who could catch fire at the right time. That's why I really do. That's why I really go crazy about the rankings in the NBA. You can start off hanging between the 8th and 7th seed, and then push your way up to the 6th or even then in 5th. Like you never know how things go with the seeds. Like so, every team may look tougher than us. I believe they should hang around 5th or 6th because you ain't gonna tell me this trash heap of a team we had last year really was at the 6th, but outcoached themselves out of it, especially when Blake went down. Shouldn't at least been at the 6th or 7th, and then we still managed to hold on to the 8th at the last moment.
I'm not disagreeing with y'all at all, but I think I don't know if we looking at this right because the East is better this year than it was last year.
Yeah.
And did the Raptors hold on, did the Raptors die?
No,
they're gonna be a playoff team.
They're still gonna be a regular season team. They that's
what I'm saying. So when you count up the teams, it's Milwaukee, it's Philly, it's Indiana, it's Boston, it's Orlando, it's the Raptors, it's the Heat, it's the Nets.
Yeah, I just think Toronto.
It's a lot of teams.
They're gonna be a little. They're not gonna be the same Raptors last season, but they could make it.
Man, they can win 40. They're gonna win 45 games though. Like they're gonna be good. Like Siakam is on the rise. You still have Lowry. You still have Gasol. You still have Van Vliet. You still have Serge Ibaka. Right. They ain't going nowhere. Pascal, and when I say they ain't going nowhere, I mean they gonna make the playoffs.
I think Pascal Siakam gonna be averaging at least 20 points next season.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the man
for this. I'd say this,
Drew.
Oh, let Noam go.
No, I was gonna say this. Like, the reason why I can make that assumption is because I watch sometimes how the Pistons win and lose games. They lose a lot of games because they don't flop a lot of times, and I feel like if they are smarter this time, they can actually win more games. Because let's be honest, Boston sometimes, they stacked in that guard area, but to me, what they be lacking in the big man department, it's crazy how they can still maintain that 5th and 4th seed sometimes the way they do. And I think
they gonna maintain it now with Carson Edwards on the team.
We go see. But yeah, I think that the Pistons just be careful and don't do the stuff they did the previous year. I think they should be fine. You know what I'm saying? That's how I say it. But go ahead, Drew.
Health is the key issue with the Pistons, man.
Yeah.
Last season they went in and Blake Griffin wanted to be the 4 seed to get a home court playoff appearance. They fell way short of that. They had the 6 seed relatively 2-3 weeks into the season. Blake got hurt. We fell down to 8th and barely made it in the playoffs. So going into this year, you need to have a mindset. I think you can be a 5th or 6th seed. They need to shoot for 4. 4 needs to be their goal. But realistically, they're going to be a 5th or 6th seed. Depending on how bad the injuries are, they might be a 7th or 8th seed. But no matter what, this team's still talented enough to make the playoffs. This team was supposed to be a playoff team without Blake Griffin. So if he goes down, they're still talented enough to get into the playoffs.
I think everything you said is true, but with everything you said, the injury, we could end up being an 8th seed again. And I just don't want that happening. I want Luke Kennard playing good because it's about when things happen. The Pistons at the beginning of the season, we were a top 4 seed. Like we were a good team. Then what happened? Ish Smith got hurt.
Yeah.
And we went like 8 and like 20 something and like 20. Like we went 8 and 17 without Ish Smith. That's what happened. That's legitimately what happened to our team. But if Ish Smith don't get hurt, we win in 46 games, not 41. So that's what I'm saying. So it's about a lot of things, and the East is like the West now. I don't care what nobody say. When I mean it, you cannot slip up or you will lose your season because you still got the Heat and Orlando and the Raptors just waiting for somebody to slip up. Mm-hmm. And then you get the Nets, the Pacers, and Celtics. So I definitely think we should be a 6 seed. I would love if we were a 4 seed. But this is about a few players: Blake Griffin, Derrick Rose, Reggie, and Luke Kennard, and Seiko. Seiko just needs to be a solid rookie. But those guys, Reggie has to not mess up anything, score, and please make more. Blake has to not do Blake ball. Don't over dribble, get everybody involved. Andre has to improve from he's been improving every year. He has to improve. And Luke Kennard needs to get the opportunity, and when he gets the opportunity, he needs to produce, which I think he will. But if that don't happen, and then Derrick Rose get hurt, it can be tough sledding.
Well, if Blake Griffin goes down, Carlos Boozer just got waived from the Big Three, so he's officially a free
Well,
agent.
I'm not actually worried if Blake go. If Blake go down, I actually think we would be fine because our team is deep. You can just start. You can start Markieff Morris if Blake goes down.
Right, and
We'll be fine. I'm not saying we'll be fine, like we'll be fine, but no, we'll be fine depending on how long he hurt. We might actually be fine.
I want to backtrack off something that Drew said too. He said it was you that said it. You said when Ish Smith went down, that hurt. And you got to remember earlier when I said that when Stanley Johnson went to the bench, he was seeing to play better off the bench. And that was because he had a point guard to me to help direct him and put him in the right place to be efficient. And I noticed like right when Ish got hurt, Stanley had like maybe one or two good games, and then he was like just non-existent the rest of the year until right before he got traded. And I noticed that it's because when you lose a point guard that's set to call the game for you, everybody else who needs the point guard to be able to play, everybody's numbers go down. And that's what happened with Stanley Johnson. And I remember as soon as he left, Ish Smith got hurt, I said, I see the facility calling. We just didn't know what to do after that. And then when he came back, by the time he came back and he started really getting his minutes going, I'm talking about Ish at this point, we ended up trading Stanley away. And I'm like, dang, that might – at certain points, I felt like that was almost a bad idea, just because.
Because we got Thon back, and now Thon ain't looking so hot. Everything he says he want to join the chat, man. I wish.
Okay.
For real. NB says no Blake, no playoffs, obviously. But if he went down like last season, I think we'll be in much more equipped to win. Yeah.
Invite King to the chat.
Invite him how?
Send him an invite to the Hangouts. You got his Hangout info?
Let me see.
Oh Lord, mad.
It's about to get litty, boys.
It's about to get litty. So something else I wanted to say too. I forgot about it. Low key, Stanley went over to the Raptors. I forgot about that.
That was a good pickup by them, man.
Yeah, that was a good pickup by them.
I feel that that's going to be handy for them if they play Milwaukee in the playoffs again. Use the same defense that they used with Kawhi. Obviously, Stanley's not that a caliber player offensively, but he's just as good defensively, so they can still stop him.
And it'd be crazy if Stanley takes off with the Raptors. That's what'd be crazy. If Stanley takes off with the Raptors.
Bittersweet.
That's very possible.
That's very possible that can happen. Very possible.
Yo, I had him.
What's up, brother?
How's it going, King?
What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Yeah, I got a good conversation going, man.
What's going on, family?
It's what we do.
Oh boy.
No, I just wanted to say something right quick about the East, man. I honestly feel like the East, to me, is it's a little bit worse this year to me, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Simply because Kawhi is gone with the Raptors. We know the Raptors just ain't. They have good players, but they're just not going to be the same because Kawhi was there to save them out of a lot of situations that they were in.
Yeah. That's
on top of that, the Nets lost Brandon Russell, and you added Kyrie. Now, my thing is, what type of Kyrie are you going to get this year out Kevin Durant? That's what I want to know.
Well, regardless of what kind of Kyrie, I still think they're going to make the playoffs.
They're going to make the playoffs, but they're not going to be a higher seed.
Yeah, it depends. It depends.
Because, like I said, it's certain other teams that got better, including our team. We went to, we was knocking on the door to fight for the 5th seed with that garbage and beat bench we had last year. But but then you look at teams like Indiana, they're gonna get Oladipo, but like I said, other teams got better though.
Yeah.
So, with the seeding situation, man, I have to say we're gonna have to wait, man, at least till like the first quarter of the season is over to see how these teams mesh. Because
I really think the Pistons could end up being the 3 seed. People call me crazy if everything goes right. After Philly and Milwaukee, I think we could be the 3 seed.
Bro, you
Yeah,
gotta remember,
Everything has to go
Morris
right,
is
though.
on this team, man. You never know how he can find his game back after that injury. You gotta remember that too.
I'm not sold on Philly, man. I don't think Horford and Embiid's gonna work.
Man,
Well, I just give regular man. There's just certain teams that are just good in the regular season.
and that's my thing about Boston. Boston, yeah, you know they got Carson Edwards, but at the same time, you lost Kyrie and you lost Horford, which was both of your veteran presence that you had on the team.
Right, and you lost Marcus Morris.
But you got Kemba though.
Yeah, I mean, you got Kemba. We all know Kemba can go. He can score some points.
He can't do it by himself.
He just ain't. He not about to lead a group of young guys, man. He just left that situation.
Probably should just kept Terry
Well, I think that point to what people saying about Brad Stevens not being a superstar a coach that can start coach superstar players. But if you give him Kemba in a lesser team, then that's he's more suited for. So I'm just not gonna sleep on him.
But
So
see,
who they got in the middle?
Taco Fall.
Yeah. And Taco Fall can only play 2 minutes and 36 seconds a game.
Hey man, I like Taco. He can play some JaVale McGee minutes.
Hey, come on, King, get Taco some love.
I mean, he can give you some
like
JaVale
Taco,
McGee level
man.
minutes.
I like him, man, but when it comes to stamina, he just ain't there.
Like I said, he downgraded JaVale McGee. Because JaVale McGee can play, but he can't play 40 minutes. He only play 25.
Hey, I believe they still got Aaron Baines and they picked up Enes
No,
Kanter.
Baines went to Phoenix.
Oh yeah, they did get Enes. Oh yeah, they did get Enes Kanter.
They lost all of their veteran presence, bro.
Yeah, you lost when you lost Al Horford. You lost a lot of stuff.
Well, Al Horford was the leader of that basketball team.
Yeah, he was. He was the heart and soul.
Like Kyrie was the best player isn't always the leader of the team. Kyrie was the best player and he was the leader of that team. So
they lost leaders. We gained, one or two. So
I'll say this. Like I said,
but back to what Drew was saying, Philly is always good in the regular season, bro. And that's just why I think they're gonna be a high seed.
They can't shoot. They're only shooters to bias, man. There's no floor spacing.
Yeah, they
don't matter.
They gonna hurt without Butler and
they gonna hurt in the playoffs, but regular season.
Reddick is really gonna hurt because he was.
That's why I think we go.
Oh yeah, Reddick on my team now, man. Yeah.
But like I said, man, that's why I was saying, like, a lot of our losses last year was our fault. You know what I'm saying? When the referees weren't scoring, it was our fault because of bad shots and Casey's bad timing and substitutions. We could have won a lot of games last year mentally, but we cheated ourselves out of a 50-win season.
The biggest problem for Casey was, he could have been a little bit better with the substitutions. But, man, look who he was subbing. Like, our was horrible.
Hey, y'all know the number one thing I want for the Pistons this year?
That's Smith and Stanley Johnson scenario.
Number one thing I want for the Pistons this year, can we close out games defensively? Because if we can do that, we become an elite basketball team.
Hey, I wouldn't mind having Dre, Markeith, Snell, and Luke Kennard and Reggie, or Luke Kennard
and Bruce.
No, Luke Kennard and my man Derrick Rose out there. Derrick Rose as a finishing killer out there for defensive performance. 5 to 3, you can get some of the defense out there.
I think the key to our team actually making it out the first round is defense. Yes. I think we'll figure out our offense wasn't the best last year, but we had a lot of issues. This is a new team.
Yeah.
But we have to find a way to be at least a top 13 defense or 14 if we really want to make some noise.
We had Jose Calderon actually getting real minutes in the first half.
24 minutes a game, bro.
Hey, what was you about to say, Drew?
I said we added a lot of guys with playoff experience. D Rose has got a ton of it. Tony Snell's been in there a bunch with Milwaukee, and Markeith has been there a bunch. So last season, outside of Blake Griffin and Reggie, I'm counting those as the really only two people with real playoff experience. Dre's only went there one other time though, and he got swept. These guys actually won games in the playoffs.
Yep.
Like I said.
The thing is, man, we had the golden arm on our team, Ellington, and then he got to the playoffs and became the copper arm.
Right. Hey, man, but we had Luke to replace him, but then we had nobody to play defense.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, look, I know the Andre criticism was as an all-time high, but my man's had to guard all 5 positions at all times.
He was the only one who could stop
he
anybody.
had to check Giannis, bro. Why do you
I mean, he didn't have to just check Giannis. He had to check Giannis and Brooke and Sterling Brown and Chris Middleton. Like it was. I know he played bad in Game 3. It is what it is. But defensively, he had no help. So
0.
I don't like Milwaukee.
Milwaukee's
full of piston killers.
You said what?
Milwaukee is just full of piston killers. Both the Lopez brothers. I don't know what's about them, but they hate the Pistons, dude. They just go off against us.
I'm not concerned about that.
I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. The Pistons lack of talent, man. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You ain't had nobody to go against Bledsoe. How's Bledsoe getting off?
Yeah, you got it.
Because you know
why? You had Reggie Jackson, the worst defensive point guard in the NBA last year.
No, not just that, because that's where you fell for not giving Kyrie Thomas minutes who can play defense and Bruce.
Right.
And
I've always said Kyrie Thomas is a way better defender than he gets credit for.
But you go put Langston Galloway out there, though. Okay.
Langston Galloway, man. We had Langston Galloway checking Giannis, dude. What is that?
Man, that's a mismatch all day.
Let's see. I'm about to read something out the chat. They said Snell was 39% last year. Hunter McCady said, yeah, he's a 3 and D player. Yeah, Snell, I don't know how many minutes he's going to get, but his veteran leadership, and it's going to be points in the season where we're going to need him, and I think he can just play some defense and shoot.
Man,
be a better version of Oliver.
Last year, I met Avery Bradley for a minute last year, man.
The thing with Snell, man, he's up and down, you know what I'm saying, sometimes, but if you leave him open, he's going to knock that damn shot down.
Who you talking about?
Snell.
Yeah. Snell can shoot, man. That's one thing about him. He can fill it up.
He the guy, if you forget about him, yeah, he definitely knock it down, though.
And he plays defense. And I think people be scared of him because how he look.
He long, man. He long as hell. He got 7 foot wingspan. Right. Dude can scratch his kneecap standing up.
They be like, man, Coach, I want to go against this cat.
Oh man.
Yeah, Dwayne Casey's just gonna really have to get these rotations right, and our coaching staff is gonna have to really preach defense.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's always been a Pistons calling card,
man. And the guy at least get Kennard and somebody else to help play defense too, man. Y'all got to play defense. I'm sorry.
Dwayne Casey went from having a bad problem with his roster last year to having a good problem, which is too many goddamn players.
Because let's see the Lopez brothers deal with that wild buck in Woods. Let's see how well they deal with him. He is good.
I mean, I don't know what you're trying to say with that, but okay.
Man, I can't wait. I want to see Woods play. Dude, I like Woods a lot.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, when y'all know, everyone knows how I feel about Lonzo, but when the trade toss was happening last year, what I started doing, I started watching Pelican games. I watched the Pelican games. I'm seeing Okafor and Woods out here cooking people. So that's why when we got, I'm like, oh yeah, that was the dude I was watching when I was watching those Pelican games. He just kept scoring. No, he can score. I like him.
I don't remember being this excited for someone
preseason before. Some big guy that's talented. I remember when what's the name? Ugly ass was balling. What was it?
Who?
What is his name?
Something like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It started with an A or something like that.
I'm not good with that.
Man, I don't even remember.
I can't. Yeah, I'm not good with that. I know what you're talking about, though.
It's a weird name.
Yeah, he was playing against the Pistons one time, man. He was cooking us, man. It was making me so I was so mad, man.
Like I was telling people too, man. People were sleeping on Jahlil Okafor, man. I'm like, this dude post moves is nasty. He got
Okafor can play, man. He just had a little bit too much hype.
Him, man. Yeah, they wasn't playing him.
And Philly, man, I don't know, man. Look at Philly right now. I know we were just talking, but let's look at them real quick. Why are they destroying all these young players? They can't shoot. Embiid always hurt and ain't adjusted his game and always overweight. Markelle Fultz, you destroyed him. You destroyed Jahlil Okafor. You destroyed Nerlens Noel. How many more is gonna be added to the list?
But
And they
everybody
better watch
call it out on the
Embiid,
Pistons though when they screw up.
Hold on,
players.
everybody. We can't all talk at once, guys. Come on. What you saying,
They
King?
better watch Embiid, man, because they, with them losing players and with him at the end of the season saying F the process, I'm definitely keeping an eye on that.
Well, they just signed Simmons to that big old contract, and
Yeah,
I probably would choose Simmons over Embiid just because Embiid gets hurt so much. And Embiid can't play with Simmons as long as Simmons can't shoot. They cannot play together.
But do you think Simmons
Said who?
Simmons? Do you think Simmons should be the point guard, or should he go down low?
I think Simmons should be a point forward and not a point guard.
Right. I think he shouldn't be playing the point guard position.
Like he should play more like Blake Griffin does. But he needs to split some of his duties with an actual point guard that can shoot. Like I would rather him split duties with Josh Richardson than dominate the ball. Because Josh Richardson can play both positions and he has played some point guard for Miami. I've seen it with my own eyes. He can do it. So because when you can't shoot like that, and you're that big, it just hurts a lot. And then it's hurting Joel Embiid, your best player. So they got a lot of stuff to figure out. But I just like the Horford move because once Embiid gets hurt, then you'll have Horford.
But what's Philly going to do defensively when they play us?
Split with them this year.
All right, fellas. I just wanted to pop in for a second. I'm at work, about to clock in. I'll talk to y'all.
All right, my brother, man. Thanks for joining us for a hot 15 minutes.
Yep.
I'll definitely be listening at work. So, everybody.
All right, brother.
All right, y'all. We had King on the first episode of Above the Rim with the DSA. You know how we do.
You know how we do at the DSA, baby.
But Drew, you were saying something?
Let me ask you this about when we play Philadelphia, though. What are they going to do defensively when they play us? They're going to have to put Tobias Harris on Blake Griffin because they're going to put Embiid on Drummond. That's already a lock. They already got that rivalry going on. Horford's too old and slow to guard Blake. It's not the same Horford. And Tobias is too small. When we had Tobias, I didn't like playing the Clippers because I knew Tobias was about to get pieced up by Blake. They're going to have to put Ben Simmons on him. It's not going to work.
And that would be good because Ben Simmons can play defense.
I'm
not putting Tobias Harris on Blake
last year.
Horford on Snell by default or one of the other guys.
Yeah, I'm not putting. First of all, I don't think Horford starts.
Yeah.
Second,
you're gonna pay him all that money and not start him?
Oh,
he can't start. He can't.
Yes, he is. He gonna start.
How are you gonna start two centers?
That's why I'm saying it's not gonna work. They are.
No, he's moving back to his natural position, the power forward.
Yeah,
that's his natural position.
But he plays. I mean, that's his natural position, but he plays like a center now. Like when he was in Atlanta.
Man, I'm telling you, they moved Horford to that power forward.
That's iffy now.
That's
because then you still got Ben Simmons too.
Watch you see Horford because he can hit that 10 to 15 foot jump shot and he can hit the three. So he can space the floor too.
Who's they other? They got Josh Richardson. Yeah, no, I would Josh Richardson, Ben Simmons, Tobias, and then you find I would not put, and then you put Horford and Embiid. I mean, you got a lot of tall players, but bro, Tobias plays power forward. Ben Simmons plays power forward. Al Horford plays power forward, and you got three of them starting.
That's what they're rolling with. That's what they're rolling with.
But Tobias is low key a small forward on the cover.
Yeah, he ain't a power forward.
He's more.
But he plays power forward though.
He's a hybrid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he can play both.
But he's better as a small forward. We just put him at power forward when he was here.
Well, the thing with to me, he's not really better as a small forward because he can't really dribble. Small forwards, the top guys can all dribble. And even though he fits that mold better, he's like a small forward that has to be a spot-up shooter and can only score by slashing.
Well,
which is kind of counterintuitive, which is why he plays tweener sometimes. Like I said, Ben Simmons is going to be playing power forward and point guard, and Josh Richardson is just going to be Josh Richardson. And then you got Horford and Embiid like that. I'm not liking it. Like they all tall. Like Josh Richardson, 6'6", and then Ben Simmons is 6'10", and Tobias 6'9", and Horford 6'10", and Embiid 7 feet. It looked nice on paper, but I don't like it at all.
I'm not buying into Philly at all, man. At all.
You ain't got a Philly state of mind?
I don't think they're going to be a top 2 team. I really don't. They'll be top 4.
But who's going to be the second seed then?
They're trying to predict that Philly is going to the finals this season.
They not.
No.
Who's going to be the second seed then, Drew?
Hold on a second. I was doing a.
You know who I can see being the second seed?
Hold on, guys. We can't all talk at the same time, guys.
Go ahead. I got to pull this up on my phone because I had it saved because I'm doing a video.
I was gonna say I could look. You see Brooklyn sneaking into the second seed.
Brooklyn. I know Jalen Rose believes in the Celtics. Yeah, I'm not.
I got Boston.
I'm not down on Brooklyn. Like they could be. It's funny to say they could be anywhere from 7-2, but they still got DJ, and you're gonna have Kyrie and Spencer Dinwiddie and Karis LeVert. Like they're gonna be good. I don't know if they're gonna be second seed good though.
The thing about last year though is they had Boston and Philly as the only 2 teams in the East as title contenders. Then they talked about Toronto as the outsider. They didn't talk about Milwaukee at all.
That was a 7 seed.
I'm not buying Philly. They hype Philly up every year and they never come through. They'll be the 3rd or 4th seed. I think Boston had a letdown season. I think those young players are hungry to prove that they're legit. I think Jason Tatum needs to showcase that he's the real deal. And if he does that, Boston can be the number 2 seed easily if they play unselfish team basketball. Now, like we talked about earlier, their problem is center. They don't have that big man. But Kemba didn't have a big man in Charlotte, and he was the guy. Is he going to be that guy there in Boston? Probably. But he didn't play with the young core. He had a young core, but they're garbage. I mean, Nick, you see that Nicholas Batum contract? That's who he's playing with in Charlotte. He's going to have some young guys that can actually hoop.
Right.
And I think that's what attracted him to Boston. But at the same time, I know you guys said 2. I think it's pretty high for them. I'm gonna say at least 3 or 4 for Boston. But I think with Boston because you know what I'm saying because of Enes Kanter coming on and Enes playing well in the playoffs. I got to give him nothing but love.
Enes Kanter can play center as long as you don't need him to play defense.
Right, but he can score good and he can rebound well. Now defense, he's not the best defender, but he can rebound and he can score pretty good.
Yeah, it's just hard for me to see Philly not being like they're a regular like I said, they're a regular season team. Like in the regular season, they're gonna be crushing teams. Yeah. I'm just being real. And if they're not the second seed, then I could see Boston maybe, but if I can't, only other team I can see is the Pacers. I mean,
yeah,
you cannot get me to not. It's 2 teams in the regular season you can't get me to not believe in anymore after last year, and they both start with a P, but the Pacers and Portland. Regular season, I'm believing in those teams. I know what Portland did in the playoffs, but they've shown me too much consistently. The Pacers, no matter who on their squad, been a top 4 seed the last 3 years. I think 1 year with Paul George, they wasn't a 4 seed, but they still in the playoff. They shown me too much. And when Victor Oladipo, they did this without Oladipo. Yeah. When he comes back with Malcolm Brogdon in the backcourt, like they could be the second seed. So, and it's just a lot of good culture and coaching over there. So you're not gonna get me to not believe in them. But maybe the Pistons could be, second seed. Everything has to go right though, and I mean everything.
Hey, Loud Pack in the comment section, he said he would love to see Horford and Dre together. He think that would be deadly.
No. I just don't think Horford's a power forward, man. I'm just being real.
Huh?
I don't think he's a power forward. I think he's a center.
Man, he's a power forward. Man, he's been playing out of position for a long time.
But he plays his best in that position.
Well, was he in Atlanta with Josh Smith? Was he out by then?
Yeah, he was down there with Josh.
And he was playing center there. Then once Josh left, they brought Paul Millsap and he stayed at center. So I know he's a natural power forward, but he's played center more in his career. So you would think he's more comfortable with that after you've done it for so long.
Mm-hmm. And he's gonna move back to the 4 because of Embiid.
And this is why I call him a center, because he can defend the best centers. So, and to me, maybe outside of Giannis and AD, and throw somebody in there if I'm missing, there isn't a power forward that can guard the best centers in the league. It's nobody. And if you can do that, to me, he's a center that that can play power forward. That's just the way and point forward a little bit, point center. Like he's a center to me through and through.
Right,
Because at his best, I seen him at center.
Yeah,
in Boston.
He can hit that outside shot too.
Motoro said, "Bring in Tim Legler. We need shooters."
Why not?
The Bruiser says, "Watch Toronto go on a rebuild. Casey get some assets from there from losing." I don't know, man. Toronto probably gonna be a 7th or 8th. They making the playoffs, like they are.
Yeah, they only lost one piece. If they can,
yeah, they lost Kawhi, but what
major piece?
Didn't they have a better record without Kawhi?
Yeah, they was balling without Kawhi too,
and that wasn't a fluke. We saw. I mean, we beat them, but we own
they
the
beat
Raptors.
Golden State without Kawhi.
I was about to say we saw them in the regular season. If you paid attention to the NBA, they was beating teams without Kawhi, and it wasn't a fluke at all.
Yeah,
I mean, Kyle Lowry was still giving some good games, though, man. Dude,
yeah, he was a kind of a fluky all-star, but I mean, he was just this man, and Van Vliet was playing well. Yeah. So I definitely think they gonna still be solid.
And then you can't forget they still got Serge. So yeah, they still got a solid
team. The thing
team.
is about the Raptors, though, what I always liked about them, especially the last couple of years, they got role players to just kind of know how to step up and do extra and take the workload. That's kind of why it can't be.
And imagine this though, Serge Ibaka is normally a starter, and he deferred to going to the bench for Mark Gasol. You know what I'm saying? Serge would normally start.
That's a team right there.
That's somebody.
That's what I'm saying. They did lose one of the best players in the entire world, but he left one of the best teams in the entire world.
Yeah,
like that Raptors team. Kawhi can get the credit. I'm not gonna get mad if you don't give him credit, but I saw that Raptors team against Philly start wetting them up with them shots, and Kawhi was falling back and not doing much. Saw that same team do it against Milwaukee. I saw Kawhi score 19 points and Siakam scored 37, and then Kawhi scored 19 again, and Van Vliet had 18, and Green had 16, and Lowry had 19.
Hey, hold on 1 second. Trade Motor Roland. I know you said trade Noble and Reggie. We're gonna trade you for a box of Boston baked beans, homie.
Hey, Motor Roland is a troll.
I know.
But what y'all think of OG though?
Man, all right, man. I'm tired of talking about the Raptors, though. I like OG though, man. This is about a realm with DSA, man. Unless you got another topic, I guess we can end it. We passed 10 o'clock now.
Yeah, we got some topics. We'll save them for some next week since it is an NBA drought. But it was a good show. We had Everything King on the first show, so I think it's going to be a good sign for the future.
Right.
So, all right, let's close it with some final thoughts. Final thoughts on the evening.
Oh man, I think this was for our opening show, man. This is a great thing. We trying to build a brand. We gonna be trying to come at y'all with more positive content, man. So y'all just kick it with us. Subscribe to all my fellows in the chat with me, and along with the rest of the DSA members, they'll be below. Thank y'all for trying me. If y'all haven't watched my video that I put out earlier, after this stream is over, y'all can check that out. And whoever else dropped the video. And thank you to all the brothers for having me on. Salute to all y'all. Peace.
JMO, final thoughts on the evening.
As I might say this at the end of every Above the Rim episode until the regular season starts. If Dwayne Casey, you already knew what I'm about to say. No one's already knew what I'm about to say because I am adamant about this. And this is the thing for guys who haven't listened to me, haven't listened to 313 JMO. Follow me on Twitter at 313 JMO. I've been saying Luke should start since his rookie season. So, and then he's only gotten better. But if Luke Kennard don't start, Dwayne Casey needs to be fired. Simple. I think our starting five should be Derrick Rose, Luke. I'm fine with Seiko starting or Svi. But if Snell starts, I won't get upset. But my preferences, and then Blake and Andre Drummond. And I think the team has been getting better. And I'm just glad that we made some moves. I think Christian Wood, that move is him and Marcus Morris are going to be, and D Rose are going to be secretly great for our team, and they're going to be the reason that we make the playoffs and maybe have a higher seed than our expectations. But great episode for Above the Rim. Shout out to everybody in the chat interacting with us. I see y'all arguing with each other in the chat, having fun,
me and Motor.
Right, and Motor, Loud Pack, everybody, man, y'all been having fun having these NBA debates, man. I love you guys, man. Keep supporting us, man. The DSA is strong, man. First episode was really good, man. Shout out to everyone in the chat, man.
Yes.
And Noble, final thoughts. I just gave you a wrench. I didn't realize you didn't have a wrench, so you're good to go in the chat now. You're welcome. But give me your final thoughts on the evening.
Man, great show on today, guys. Appreciate everybody. Definitely, man. Love to come on the show with you guys. It was very interesting tonight. Went really real well on tonight, and also I got some videos that I'll be dropping pretty soon. So definitely catch that. Make sure you subscribe to all the DSA members because you know we bring you that unbiased media, and we'll continue to do so on the Pistons and the Lions. So I appreciate you guys for having me on the show today.
Appreciate you stepping up and joining. Final thoughts on the evening for me. If you guys did not see it, Carlos Boozer did get waived from his team in the Big Three. That is hilarious to me. That has to be an all-time low.
Wow.
Nothing to do with the Pistons or the NBA, but I thought that was funny. Oh, I gotta give Gnome a wrench. I didn't give Gnome a wrench.
No.
All right. Gnome, there you go. All right, so thank you guys so much for joining the first ever Above the Rim with DSA. Shout out to Gnome for the title. It's a dope title. I like it. With that being said, Instagram and Twitter links are in the description. Be sure to follow me. Everyone in here has a Twitter, so be sure to follow them on Twitter as well. And all their links are in the description for their channels, so be sure to subscribe to all of them. And I'll see you peeps tomorrow when the upload streak continues. Peace.